Greetings and welcome to episode 260 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly video game podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, and I'm joined this week by Daffod Moody.
Howdly doodly doo, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. You know what that means.
And Foxes.
Yeah, I'm totally not going to dab. Hey, how's it going?
You could dab all you want and we wouldn't even know.
No, I'm not.
Your reputation will be intact, don't worry.
That was the first time I ever heard that today. Apparently, I had no idea what the hell that was meaning.
What, dab?
Wow.
My teacher was like, I'm going to show you a dab that you've never seen before. And I said, what the fuck's a dab? He's like, you know when people do that? I said, yeah, that's a dab. I said, wait, really?
Oh, wow.
Yep.
No idea.
What did you call them before?
Idiot young'uns doing this.
Idiot youngins. I mean, you do that quite frequently on the podcast.
Yeah, it's contagious it's contagious from my teacher. He's a dabaholic. He likes to do dabbing. He's a dabber, yeah. Apparently, he's a dabber.
I was gonna make a really niche 90s joke about that song. You know, I'm blue, dabba dee dabba da.
Dabba da do dabba dee dabba da dabba dee dabba da 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 dee.
I was gonna ask if you were blue, but I don't think anyone would have got it.
I'm blue.
How's everybody doing?
Doing all right, actually.
That's good. That's good. Moody?
Amy,
Uh-oh.
I'm done.
Oh, you're done. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
College is done for another
Nice.
2 months.
Very nice.
I'm done.
It's time
I'm
for
done.
all the games.
Time for Moody to hibernate for a bit. I'm taking the weekend off. Not doing nothing. Amy, find another host on
I was
for
going to
Monday for
say,
yourself.
we do have a podcast on Sunday. That could be
Foxes, can you cover for me? Cheers, thanks, mate.
Thanks.
Sure, he wouldn't mind. He likes doing these things.
I'm not getting paid enough.
And you get
let's be
paid?
Damn it, Foxes. You weren't supposed to tell him that.
Wait, what? Alright, we have a conversation right now. But no, yes,
I mean,
I
it is.
am well.
It's our podcast.
Tired, but I am well.
Good. It's very hot. I can understand being tired. Like, I hate this country. Like 90% of the, I mean, for many reasons, 90% of the year, it's like cold. So all our houses are built to like store the heat as much as possible.
Oof.
But then it's like you get to a week like this where it's like a little bit hot, but the houses just exponentially get hotter and hotter because like of all the insulation. And so like you're sitting inside like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, it's so hot. And then like all of your friends who live in like countries where they used to heat, it's like it's only 20 degrees. And it's like, I know, but like that's really hot over here. I'm not used to it. Please help. Send cold weather. I'm dying.
Season change, please.
Please, Autumn. Please, where are you? Please, I need you.
Brown leave? Where?
So it was E3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That came and went.
That
Came and went.
was something. That was a roller coaster. That's for damn sure.
It was nice to have it back, like, and not be spread out over months and months and months. It was nice to have it like in a week.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're done.
Yeah. No doubt about it. I do agree with you. It was a lot of fun. Had a lot of games, what we're going to talk about and everything.
Mhm.
I can't wait to do that.
Yeah, we did. I had so many game adverts beamed into my eyes. It's like, how do you even keep it all straight in your head? That's what people ask me, and I say I don't. I have a channel on my private Discord where I just drop trailers and I scroll through it every now and again and go, oh yeah, that game exists.
Remember that
Oh
one?
yeah, that.
Yay! Yay!
Everything just becomes a mishmash in my head where I'm just like, I'll like, someone will go, hey, did you see this one game? And I'll think of a completely different game and go, oh yeah. Like, it looked good. Yeah, I remember this from the trailer. And they'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That didn't happen in that trailer.
They found me out.
Oh, man. It's just, I don't function well in the heat. I'm not built for it. It's not fair. Like, when we set up our big room, Moody, in the future, it has air conditioning in it. It has to.
It has to, yeah.
Like, I've got the light turned down and everything because it's just like I need as like little heat on me as possible. But should we talk about some games? Should we do it? Or Moody? Does Moody want to do a public service announcement first?
Oh, why?
All right, cool. You were like,
I can write. I can say what I've written. Yeah, if you want me to.
Oh, you've written it. Oh God, he's written it down. Interesting.
Yeah.
I typed it down to say. It's just like we were talking just offline, like of the discourse and everything like that when it comes to the internet and everything when it comes to E3 and everything. And I think it's just I can understand where people can come from, where they may feel a little disappointed that something that they might have been excited for wasn't shown at E3. Shit happens on that part, but also let's just remember this, ladies and gentlemen, because I think consumers are forgetting this. Developers went through this pandemic also, and they've had to delay a lot of things. I'll say this. 2022, me and Amy talked about it. That looks like it's going to be a stupid year for video games, especially for AAA video games. But I'll also say before we delve right into it, you've still got some exciting video games to play here, even if they aren't AAA.
Yeah,
agreed.
That's a good segue into my point, right? Because I've been messaging you backwards and forwards as we often do. Like with my, I don't know, annoyance with the way people have been talking about E3 this year, where it's just like, oh my God, like I thought everything was fine, right? Like there was some, fringe capital G gamers being like E3 sucks this year, whoa. But then on Monday when the Nintendo Direct happened, and a lot of people, including like people I actually like, not just like, gamers, but like actual real people, were like, Nintendo just saved E3. Nintendo just saved 2021 as a whole with all these games they announced that are coming out. And I was like, whoa, pump the brakes a sec here, because like I had fun with this E3. Like I thought the Nintendo Direct was good. I thought the Xbox showcase was good. I thought a bunch of the indie showcases were good. I thought that Tribeca Film Festival game spotlight was really good.
I personally didn't think Summer Game Fest was bad. I mean, sure, it had some fluff, but I didn't think it was bad.
I mean, like it started well, and then the middle was a bit of a slump. But because of how it ended, no one remembers the middle, so it's fine.
Exactly.
And like
how they leave here, ladies and gentlemen.
How you are exiting the venue sometimes is just as important as everything that happens before it. But no, it's like from what I could see from like people talking about like, oh, Nintendo saved it, Nintendo are filling the gaps in 2021. I was like, y'all need to play some fucking indie games, right? Like, and if you don't want to, that's totally valid. But shut the fuck up. For the love of God, for the sanity of the people that actually like video games that aren't AAA, like please stop talking about this specific thing, I should say.
So I want to build off of your point because you have such a great point. Because I'm going to be honest with you, people got best of both worlds, in my personal opinion. You got your AAA and you got your indie. And sure, maybe you weren't like overflowing out of all of your orifices with all the AAA titles that was going to be announced by everybody, or you were going to see all the gameplay. You still got a good, foot and or like a good drop in the ocean. Because let's be honest with you, I mean, there's quite a few out there that are actually not are actually AAA that look quite promising, and also some really interesting moves for AAA companies that they decided to actually like surprise you with this year on like some of their business decisions on like future endeavors. But we'll get to that when we talked about it. I personally think that there was was it overflowing with everyone and their mother and with like high AAA stuff? No, but there was definitely a lot of games in my personal opinion.
Oh,
just games, and I was like, hey, whether you like the shows or not, it's up to you personally. But you can't deny that there wasn't a bunch of fucking games here. You can't deny that.
I agree. Yeah,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
you can feel however you want to feel. I beg you to stop, like, trying to invalidate the experience for those of us who had a good
Mhm.
time. Like,
Mhm.
and I was like, hey, I saw tons of stuff. I mean, my most hyped game for the rest of the year is a game where you drive around delivering mail for people. So I mean, I know I'm not exactly the mainstream target audience for this shit, but
I think it's fair to say that the indies took over
Oh yeah,
E3
definitely.
and the Summer Games Fest. Like there are some like AAA games that I'm sure that we'll all bring up and everything that we are excited to play and everything. But for the most part, the AAA ones are not the indies or second AA games are the ones that stood out the most and made E3, Summer Games Fest, all the other fests, whatever, just stand out and just go, this was awesome. These are awesome looking games, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I just want to throw out just one little thing. There's an article I dropped in our news dump, Amy, and I'll just read the byline. 33% of E3 games and Summer Game Fest titles are non-violent games this year.
That's amazing.
33% of games, ladies and gentlemen. That's incredible.
That's
Oh
awesome.
man, I love it.
You don't need the pew pew, you don't need to go.
Yeah, it's not about mass murder. Like,
Yeah.
Although, to be completely fair, there's actually so many other games that are about like violence that also look like really fucking good for indie games.
definitely.
Yeah, we agree. Yeah,
That's
we
amazing.
completely agree.
That there's such a wide, like, I love that. I like, me personally, I think that's such a, like, to have that diverse of a portfolio, or just wide array of the medium, video games being, it's awesome. I you get to fill everyone else's or everyone's sort of expectations.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I love it.
Oh yeah, I mean, tune into the fashionable late reviews episode on Monday. I'm gonna spend ages talking about a game where I painted shit. It's great.
That's amazing.
Love it. But
I might talk about that as well, but we'll see what happens. I've got a space opera to finish as well. So
that's true. Yeah, we do have to. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But let's jump in before I melt to death and talk about something. I can already see like the little beads of sweat on my head. It's like, no, it's not good. Let's talk about some actual video games, and I want to start with Moody. What was your favorite? What was the one, the trailer or the gameplay show, whatever, that you saw and you were like, that's a Moody game right there.
I'm gonna pick one that wasn't already announced or that we already knew about. So I have two, if you don't mind.
I don't mind in the slightest, because I was going to do the same thing.
Both on the Xbox showcase.
Mine are too. This is interesting.
Okay. Replaced. And
yes. Sorry.
And Sommerville.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Those two. If I was gonna go like spread out, if I was the games I already knew about, I'll throw out Lake. 12 minutes.
You're burning through
We'll get to those as well, but yeah, those two. One replaced. I absolutely love the look of. Shout out to the developer who lived close to me. I'm free over the summer, just so you know.
Got any jobs going?
Yeah, you got any jobs going right now? But no, yeah, looked absolutely amazing. I'm a huge fan of 2-bit style games, and this one just looked so unique and so awesome. And then you got Sommerville that didn't really tell you much, but the art style alone just drew me in. And then I was just like, with the omniscient sounds that they were throwing off and everything, I was just like, I don't know what's going on here.
But I'm in.
But I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. just give me it now and all like that. And I really, really enjoyed it. Like, yeah, those two games. Those games look really, really good. I can't wait to get my hand on them. Both, I believe, Game Pass as well. Day one, which is incredible. So, yeah.
Sommerville, I've just checked it off of my list. We were watching the showcasing while we were chatting in Discord, and I think we both went, wow, what's this? This looks awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing, actually.
I found out after the showcase that it's being developed by Playdead, who made Limbo and Inside.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that
Wow.
explains why I was very drawn to this game.
That's so interesting. There's a few games that actually kind of gave me that kind of feel. Like I was like, oh yeah, this kind of gives me like an Inside feel or like a Limbo feel. And I played both of those games and I actually quite enjoyed both of those. But yeah, like that. I was wondering why that game kind of drew me so much to it, and that could, to be honest with you, that makes a lot of sense. To be honest.
Yeah, it was
Fun
one of
fact.
those things that solved itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fun fact: the year Inside was out, that was my game of the year that year.
That's
nice.
awesome.
I loved that game.
Yeah,
I
that's a good game.
absorbed it. I absorbed that game. It was so good.
Pun intended. No, I love the like of Sommerville. Like you don't really know that much about it. Like it was very much a teaser sort of trailer for a game that's coming out next year. But like the vibes that it was given and sort of like the things that it was hinting at the game was going to be about, like look pretty cool. Like I could speculate a little bit because it seems like you're going to be like it's a post-apocalyptic type scenario. There's something trying to kill you. And
Yeah.
like I saw like I remember the trailer quite vividly. And I remember seeing like other people fighting and you running through with your family. So I'm wondering if it's like a type of game where it's like, oh, it's a post-apocalypse. Oh, this thing's trying to kill you, but you have to run away from them. You're not the person that fights the aliens or the zombies or whatever.
You're
like,
not the warrior or the soldier this time.
You're just trying to like keep your family alive and
exactly.
escape to the border or the last boat or whatever you're trying to get to.
So basically, it's the opening of The Last of Us, then, because where you just Joel with your daughter,
in a
no
way.
guns or anything, can just run in.
Yeah.
It's that type of game, and I'm just like, yes,
Cool. That's cool.
Give me that right now.
That's cool. The place looked interesting as well. I gotta admit, I didn't put it on my list. Do you have anything to say about it, Foxes? Because you had a very strong reaction when Moody said it. So.
Oh, replaced?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so I will have to admit it went like as soon as I saw it, it went on my list as like I didn't expect this, and you look fucking amazing. Its lighting engine, its animation, like it's amazing. Like there's something about it, like it kind of just drew me in immediately. Like whether it was just the fact that it got really atmospheric, pretty quickly, whether it went from the box style and then it opens up widescreen, and then you're kind of like it kind of makes you feel like you're the person, with those eyes that that were glowing, whether it's a reflection or whatnot. But then whenever you see him like walking through the streets and you see the moonlight bouncing off of the actual the actual street, and you can actually it makes you kind of feel like it's like this is a very ambient game. But then it shows you the animation of the fighting style that the type of person that you are, which kind of gives me a lot of Blade Runner vibes, but a little bit more action paced, and it was just awesome. I ate it up so goddamn much just because of how good it looked. It looked fluid. It looked fun. It looked like I hope that it's an action style game and it's not kind of like you get to choose, your next maneuver and it kind of plays out in front of you. I hope you actually get to figure out how to take on these dudes, because the moment whenever he mantles that shield and then he flips over and if he's gonna kick him in the face, you can tell that he's gonna shoot the guy underneath him, but you don't get to see it because it's like, yeah, that's right, we know you like what we do. It's like, yes, I do. I want to see more of this. It was perfect. I honestly, it blew me the fuck away. Like I was like, hell yes, this is an indie game that I am excited for. I had no clue about. Yeah, Replaced looks amazing.
That's a good one. Like that's one of the special things about indie games, right? You never see them coming until they're right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the case of Hollow Knight, not. I'm gonna go next because I want to talk about a couple. I've got my game where I was like, hey, this reveal was amazing, and it was my favorite reveal of the show. And it's the same as Moody. I've gone with a game I didn't know about beforehand, sort of. But I want to do a quick shout out to the best trailer, or like my favorite trailer from E3 this year, which was the Outer Worlds 2 trailer.
The trailer that wasn't a trailer
the
because
trailer
it
that wasn't a
couldn't be a
trailer.
trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, as Moody can attest, because again, we watched the Xbox Game Showcase and we were in Discord chatting to each other. And the Outer Worlds, it was about halfway through the Outer Worlds 2 trailer, and Moody was trying to talk to me about it because he knew I liked the Outer Worlds. But I
Yeah.
found the trailer so funny, I couldn't communicate with words, and I was just laughing in the background. He was probably trying to watch this trailer. I was in pieces.
As a matter of fact, the only thing that they've done is the title card.
And I was trying to communicate. Oh, it's the Outer Worlds, but I was laughing too much at the trailer.
I enjoyed it. It was really good. The very tongue-in-cheek, feel from it.
It's exactly what I would expect from Obsidian and the Outer Worlds. I fucking love that trailer so much.
It was a good trailer. It really was.
It's a fun trailer, no doubt about it. It literally spoke the words of what Outer Worlds 1 was and everything, so you can't say it was a good trailer. It's not on my list or anything like that.
No, I mean, it's not seriously on my list because obviously we don't know anything about the game, like as intended by the trailer. I found it was my favorite trailer from the show. Like, is this thing going to be in the game? No, say goodbye to it forever. I lost it.
I like those type of trailers, what like them, like just taking the mick or taking the piss or self-aware of themselves. It's really they are. If you do it well, you can really do it well, and this did it really well, no doubt.
But my actual game reveal, that was my favorite game reveal of the E3, came a little bit later in the same showcase, and it was Redfall from Arcane Studios. Because I was, you know me, Arcane, right? Deathloop, Dishonored. I'm like, man, right? And I speculated about this on our last E3 podcast where I was like, I've heard Arcane, the rumors they're making of some kind of vampire game. We might see it. Fucking saw it. And then some. It looks sick. Like, it was everything I wanted it to be.
I love its premise, in all honesty. Like, it seems original. It seems new. It seems different. It seems weird. It seems like Arcane.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's like, it's a 4-player co-op, story-driven game, which
Fucking
is like
open world game for them. I was like, wait, and it's seamless co-op is what they're saying, and I was like, what? Like, it kind of blew me away a little bit whenever they were like proposing this idea, and it's Arcane, so I know they're gonna fulfill. I kind of have that feeling, you know.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it because it's like, it's all of these things that like I've seen in AAA games before, like tons of times before, but it's Arcane, and like one, that's enough for me to sort of be like, okay, I'm in, like let's see what you got. But on the other hand, as well, like you could see it was Arcane, like you could tell from just everything about the reveal. Right, like you could see, like, this is definitely an Arcane game. It's weird, it's quirky. It's got a very diverse and cool set of characters. Like it's doing its own thing, like with the vampires and the other monsters and whatever else there is in the game.
I like that, like, because it gave you kind of different kinds of feels, right? It gave you Arcane feel, but it also gave you like it's trying to do that like kind of 80s horror vibe-ish. And it also actually have a little bit of creep. Because let's be honest with you, I mean, like, sure, it wasn't like, the scariest thing that, horror game wise, but like whenever you hear in the trailer that the vampire goes like thump thump goes the rabbit, like that kind of sort of thing. Like, I was like, oh, that's actually kind of creepy, and like, imagining if I'm playing a video game and then like I hear that in my ear, I don't see, a vampire, and the next thing I know, it's on my back. I'm gonna fucking scream. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that coming, that kind of sort of thing. I don't know. Yeah. I dig its style, and I have a feeling how it may play out, but it's Arcane, so they could completely surprise me.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Arcane are good with like retro aesthetics. Like, I always like to think of their games, and I've been thinking about Arcane a lot because obviously I'm making a Dishonored retrospective right now. Like their games, like regardless of when they're set, like all of their games feel like period pieces. Like you like a Deathloop, and it's got a very vivid and distinct style, which is reminiscent of sort of like 70s and 80s cinema. With Prey, you go back to like the 50s, even though it's set in the future, it's got that 50s retro sci-fi aesthetic, and like even to Dishonored and stuff, which is obviously like medieval.
You even still,
it's not the right one. The industrial era. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and you literally carry around a wrench, which even kind of makes it feel even more so like that. Like it's like, yeah, it's like I've got like this unbreakable, powerful wrench that while using most of the time in space, it gives me a Bioshock 50ish
Yeah.
vibes, especially if I want to go smack something. So
I'm gonna, yeah. Well, Prey was fun, but not my favorite Arcane game. But it was still, I like the mimics. Trying to figure out like smashing all the coffee cups because one of them might try and kill me. But yeah, like Redfall, summer 2022. Like me and Moody are gonna have said the other day to each other, and I'm gonna say repeatedly for the next 6 months. 2022 it's gonna be some year if all these games do come out. Holy shit.
Yep, exactly. No doubt about it there. This one didn't really do much for me. I was just like, okay. That's just me personally. But no, yeah. I'll give it a try. There's no doubt about it. I always happily give something a try and give it a try just to see
Gonna be
if
on
it
Game
piques
Pass.
my interest. I know
Yeah.
it's coming out on Game
Xbox
Pass. I do have Game-
exclusive.
I know.
Those words might come out of my mouth later. But yeah, I'm good. So, Foxes, what was your big number one favorite
So
reveal?
funny. So like, there was. I'm gonna say the one that me personally it like was most excited about, but there is another big one that I'm sure we're all gonna talk about here shortly. But my personal one, I remember it being on my list because let's be honest with you, I've been waiting for this game for years, and the fact that they actually like talked about releasing it, and then guess what? I said specifically on my please dear god show me this in this in this show, and they fucking did, which I was genuinely surprised. They gave me my Stalker 2 actual gameplay, and I shit myself and started screaming. Oh my god,
that was the one I was thinking of, by the way, where I was like, I know what Foxes is going to talk about first because I remember what we talked about last time.
It gave me my Stalker feels, like whether it's all them like around the fire just talking about like the exclusion zone or the the exclusion zone, and or like talking about the lab mutations and stuff like that. It screamed Stalker ambiance. It screamed Stalker. Some of the action seemed a little easy personally because I know how hard Stalker is. So I'm thinking that was kind of more of like a showcase, and it's like, no, when you play the game, it's gonna be fucking hard. That kind of sort of thing, which I do appreciate because that's kind of one of the staples of that series.
Yeah, it's like in the original Stalker, you can go straight at the military base and try your luck with the hard area of the game, but don't do that, right? Like that's like walking left at the beginning of Fallout. Like don't do that, you'll die. But yeah, like I never finished Stalker. I never actually played all that much of the first one, but I played enough many years ago to like really dig it. So like knowing that Stalker 2 was a thing that was in development was great, and then to see it like probably properly for the first time at the Xbox showcase was just like, yeah, you know what, I dig this vibe. Like
that ending when he's using that like electric coil gun, and then he's just like taking things out. You're like, oh, that like those shots look really cool, but I wonder if that. And then they show you the electricity arcing through all the like, oh, that looks gorgeous. It was just I was like, oh my god, that looks so good. I will also say one thing. It gave me all the little nuances too. Like I said, it's the conversation around the fire, like, or him like playing the guitar, or even the from the PDA, and then like just like, it gave me so much, and I cannot wait for that game.
Yeah, and like the little character interactions were cool, like the way the guys, the way all those guys were talking around the campfire, and like the little jokes and the little funny moments, and it's just like it was my favorite game reveal of a game set in Chernobyl. From E3, of which there were a surprising amount of games to choose from, as it turns out. And I think I saw that Ferris wheel so many times over the course of the week. I was like, okay, yeah, I loved it. Like I did really enjoy it.
Yeah, me too.
It's in Chernobyl. I'm there. I love Chernobyl. I've researched a ton of craziness about Chernobyl when I was doing a final major project for college a few years ago, and the craziness I heard about research about that, and then when you watch the incredible show that was just 2 years ago, then you just go,
I still haven't seen that. I need to.
"Oh, Amy."
I know. It's actually on my list, though. This isn't a thing where I'm like, I'm not going to watch it. This is a thing where it's like, look, I'm going to catch up with stuff.
It was legit the best thing that came out in 2019.
Yeah, I'd agree. One thing that actually I think it was a on purpose like teaser, because I have a feeling it may, tie back into the lore, because Stalker games don't like deviating from their actual like pre-written lore. Like they actually like sticking to it, and basically certain events and certain characters, and so on and so forth. And when you the Stalker, whom is a new one if I'm not mistaken, he says, I need to go to Pripyat, and I need to go talk to him. So the last game, it was actually Call of Pripyat, and you are a completely different Stalker. And I have a feeling that he might still be alive, and you're going to go talk to him, and you're going to find out, and maybe even team up. Just like, because, I mean, sure, Pripyat's been used in the Stalker game so many times as it is anyways, and he can go talk to anyone. But I don't know. I have this little sneaking suspicion that it'll be like, yeah, that Stalker's not dead. Like, oh, okay.
So, just before I bring it back around, Moody, and we start talking about more games, I just want to point out, fun fact: all of the games we just talked about were from the Xbox Bethesda showcase,
right?
And all of them are Game Pass games,
right?
just a fun stat. I was just thinking of in my head there.
Game Pass might be the thing you need to buy the most, ladies and gentlemen.
might be the thing you need to get.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start working our way down any like lists that we have.
Okay.
Moody, hit me with a game that you like, didn't like, have something to say about.
The one time, ladies and gentlemen, I think Ubisoft might get brought up this podcast. Just want to remind everybody of the terrible things Ubisoft have hid away for many times, many years, and tried to avoid, and still not been judged properly by it. But fuck Ubisoft, just say that right now. This is a game that's going to come out just in time for the film that comes out after 10 freaking years. The sequel of Avatar obviously drops next year. Perfect for the game Avatar: Frontier of Pandara to drop as well, where blue people will take over the world once again in 2022, ladies and gentlemen.
Smurfs?
I'm calling it right now, not Smurfs.
Papa?
Shut up, you. I said it on my old podcast many occasions, even though I'm going in a bit of a film part here. The Avatar 2 will easily crack $1 billion, and Avatar: Frontier Pandora will be arguably a big easy sell, I think, for Ubisoft. I'm just a mark for the franchise itself, so I didn't expect that we would see it. So I'm happy we did see it. It looked really good in their engine. I can't deny that. So I am intrigued to see what will happen. What I'm intrigued to see what else we'll see. I guess we probably won't see this game now until probably next year. Now that's when they'll probably finally go full on into it. And
I think there's another Ubisoft Forward happening in 2021.
Was there?
I think so.
Oh, I know we also got Game Awards, so we might see a little bit more.
Yeah, and we got Gamescom as well. So
yeah, maybe. But no, I was happy when I finally saw it. I was like, oh, because for some weird reason, when it all was coming up, I was thinking, they aren't going to just do a stupid little teaser for Star Wars, and he ain't going to bring the game out for 5 or 6 years. You can't be that stupid, can you?
Beyond Good and Evil 2 begs to differ. Because they've done that twice now.
Yeah, I was. Then I was thinking, oh no, they can't do oh god, they can't do the same as Beyond Good and Evil, do a Star Wars thing and then release it 6 years later, or never release it. But no, yeah, Avatar: Frontier of Pandora. We don't really know anything about the game whatsoever, but I'm just a mark for the franchise in general. I admit that. I'm not ashamed to admit that. Fall 2022, I might paint myself blue.
I'll tell you what, man. You do that stream, all right, and I'll buy the paint. You do that.
Please
stream.
Do the hair and everything. I need to see this
Painted blue. I will supply the pain happily.
I'll call myself Jake Sully or Natiri.
I'll make sure that it's like, safe and, non-toxic.
Navi Moody.
Navi Moody.
Navi Moody.
Navi Moody.
That's awesome. Foxes, did you have anything to say about Avatar?
So before I went on my little story, do you have anything to actually comment on it before I get
nothing
into
I
it?
didn't say before we started recording, which is this Avatar thing doesn't end with The Last Airbender, so I'm not really that bothered.
2009. It was the year that a certain video game decided to happen to release. What video game, you might ask? Well, it was
year's Avatar film came out.
It was James Cameron's The Movie, The Video Game Avatar. Literally title, I shit you not. I played this game.
Somebody actually played that game?
I know, yeah.
I did as well.
I remember it being the clunkiest, strangest action game that made no sense to the actual plot whatsoever. I played that game. And I think maybe Moody and I were the only two people that bought it and actually played it because I saw that movie. I've told Moody many a time. I've seen this movie quite a few times in theaters. I saw it 3D, I think maybe twice. Then I saw it in 2D. I just when it came out, everyone knows that it was such a big deal.
Yeah, I remember watching the movie in 3D.
Yeah, just because of how much of a big deal Avatar is, I may play this game again to see if their video games got any better, because I would love to see an improvement since the 2009 one.
You want to torture yourself?
The bar is on the floor there. I'm looking forward to watching.
I'm watching right now the 2009 trailer of Avatar. I'm going to watch this film after this podcast.
I'm looking forward to watching Mooney play this game. I think that's where I'm at with this game.
I would like to see what kind of. I mean, like they call it a first-person action game, which, to be honest with you, is kind of like the same description as like Far Cry Primal.
All the Ubisoft games.
Yeah, true. They categorize it kind of the same thing. I almost kind of expect to see kind of the same thing, maybe a little bit more like. Of course, it's gonna be more, science fiction-y, even more so. But how open world are we talking? What kind of game is this? Because to be honest with you, I do have an interest. This game is kind of like, massive left turn. Didn't expect this coming out of nowhere. Okay, let's see what type of game this is. So yeah, to be honest with you, yeah, I'd love to actually probably watch Moody play this. To be fair,
Twitch.tv/words about games. I'm gonna paint them blue from head to toe. Alright, for my second one on my list, as I'm working down it, 2 words that I was waiting for Jeff Keighley to say. All that entire fucking Summer Games Fest, I was like, say, like the meme, the Bart Simpson meme, and he's like, say the words. Elden Ring. It was everything I wanted it to be.
Oh, and more.
It's coming
out.
You want
me to leave here? Because you guys sound like you're going to have an intimate moment here.
I'm going to have an intimate moment in January.
Right?
January 21st, 2022. Elden Ring. It looks like the best part. And this is just from a trailer. It was a long reveal. It was good 3-4 minutes, something like that.
You saw a lot of character models, and
you saw a lot.
Different,
I think there was more story
attacks
in this trailer, explicit story in this trailer, than the entire Dark Souls trilogy.
I'd agree.
But it seems like watching it, one, you get a horse.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty dope. 2, it's an open world game, which I haven't played an open world game since Miles Morales last year. So I'm figuring if I can just keep that up until January, I might be ready to go back for an open world game. But the trailer made it look like a combination of all the best things from Software, since Demon
Mhm.
Souls. Where I was like, there was cool like shades of Dark Souls in there was cool shades of Bloodborne in there was cool shades of
Mhm.
Sekiro in there, which was a game I personally
Mhm.
didn't vibe with, but hey, it won game of the year, right? So it must be pretty good. But like, yeah, I was in awe watching this trailer and just being like, everything I'm seeing right now is like, this is gonna be a fucking brilliant game.
Mhm.
I want it now,
Mhm.
but I am quite amused that it's coming out in January. 21 days too late for Moody to score any points with it on Fantasy Game Critic.
It's an insult. I think they purposely did it just to piss me off as well. I'm not gonna lie. You know, they're just like, yeah, all those people who've picked it for Fantasy Critic for 2021, we're gonna piss them off so much.
To be honest, I'll be honest. Though, January is a lot sooner than I thought it was. We were gonna get it. So, that's pretty cool. But yeah, like I fucking loved everything I saw about this game. Like, holy shit, Foxes, holy shit, right?
Mhm. I would most definitely agree.
I think Foxes is just remembering the trailer now. It's just remembering, like, I can just picture you like.
I kind of am, to be honest with you. So one thing I do appreciate is that I completely agree with you. It definitely gives me a Dark Souls vibe, while also giving me obviously Sekiro vibes and Bloodborne. It also gave me, now it's interesting because I other people have actually been bringing it up. I don't know how familiar you are with a this anime series called Berserk. It actually
A bit.
draws it actually draws I feel like there's some moments actually draws some inspiration from it, but to be honest with you, Berserk also draws some inspiration from other things as well, so it's not too far off and it's not too far fetched.
I think there's
Um
some inspiration drawn like across from software
mhm.
from Berserk.
Um now it it obviously will have, probably nothing to do with it. It's interesting because while they fed you kind of, well, not fed you, but like pretty much, well, yeah, I guess so, fed you, the story through this trailer. I kind of have a feeling that this is going to be another very story driven one, kind of like how Sekiro and
Had
uh
cutscenes with like characters having actual conversations.
exactly. Um and also, just having more conversation with, like, like your soul keeper, whoever it may be, your fair maiden, whatever, whichever, your doll, whichever the different, equivalent is. um I would love to see, like, because obviously they've already teased the different kinds of styles that you can play. You got your caster, you got your like beast like mode, you got, like, your heavy wielder, your quick sword and shield, which actually is actually pretty cool. It's much
Yeah.
different because you use more of a actual counter buckler. uh I would love to see also if this, have they come out to say specifically that this is only a single player game, or do they have another
No, there was a lot of
co-op
information come out
component?
afterwards. It sounds like it's going to have a multiplayer system pretty sort of similar to Dark Souls and
3.
Bloodborne.
Okay.
Sort of like you can
So
summon friends in to help you out. But I think the thing you're referencing from the trailer and from what I remember from reading from an interview was like you can summon NPCs like you could in other
mhm,
Souls games.
mhm,
Sort of like the souls of like dead warriors.
right, yeah. So one's one's kind of co-op system really isn't a co-op system, more of like an
I
actual,
mean, none
like,
of them are really good, really great co-ops.
yeah. 3 I think is more of an actual, like, actual co-op system where you can actually go through whole levels and, like, whole, like, good story bits, whereas in the first one it's like, we're going to spawn because we've only got a limited time to do this, so yeah, I'm going to kill you, that kind of sort of thing. Or until you die, or you defeat the boss, and then it's like, all right, that's it, because for the most part, it's just, if I remember correctly, one is one of those things where you invade the other person to that point, and if the time runs out or if they get to their end point, you despawn.
Yeah, you
Or if,
despawn. It's like in Bloodborne, where it's like you
yeah,
can summon a friend in, but there's like if you do a few different things, like you'll despawn. Like
yeah.
um,
I kind of hope it leans a little bit more towards Dark Souls 3's, because to be
players.
honest with you,
I've got
I would love
I've
to
got
like play with friends. You
I've
know?
got the thing up here. Players can choose a keyword, be added to a group. Miyazaki commented, "There is no limit to the number of members in a group, which should
Oh,
lead
that's
to large
amazing.
communities forming around the game." Miyazaki said, "In Elden Ring, bloodstains and messages from players within a group will have a higher chance to spawn in other group members' worlds, and that phantoms from the same group will also be easier to summon thanks to this system."
Awesome. So yeah, a much easier streamline.
So it sounds
co-op
like
system.
a more intuitive sort of version of Dark Souls multiplayer.
Which I'll appreciate actually, because I would like to see
Hey, if
how it works soon.
yeah, if me and you can like roll up in Elden Ring and like
Mm-hmm.
double team some of that shit, like that'd be great. Like
Yeah.
like that would be sweet.
Agreed.
Might help me through
Yeah,
the
yeah.
open world portions. I don't know if my open world fatigue is ever gonna go away. I think it became too deep rooted.
See, it's interesting because they've classified this open world, but to be honest with you, it's funny because when I think back to the other Dark Souls games, yeah, they're not open world, but they have such big portions and big areas that it almost kind of still feels that way already. But yet you do think about, you're like, oh no, there is gates that you have to get through to the section. You're like, oh yeah, that's right, you know. But like,
They're levels.
it's
They're just
interesting.
connected in
Yeah,
interesting
exactly.
ways.
I really want to see how they tackle this, because what their version of what open world means, which could be the exact same as everybody else's, but it's from software. They do strange stuff, so you know, I'm interested.
Yeah, they do.
You know.
Maybe that's why they speak to me so much. So let's move on from Elden Ring. Let's bring Moody back. Let's bring Moody back into the podcast.
Did you forget about me, ladies and gentlemen?
I would go to Fox's next, but we've just had a really lengthy conversation about Elden Ring, so I'm gonna go over to Moody and ask Moody for another game that he wishes to talk about.
Please do.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Arguably the best thing that was shown at Square Enix.
Arguably, practically the only bloody thing that was shown at Square Enix.
Well, I heard I think there was rumblings that there was a Guardians game coming.
Nailed. By the way, can I just point out that I nailed that in the last podcast as well?
Yeah, you did actually.
I think you did. Yeah. I think they've nailed the characters really well here, especially with like that we've seen them before. Obviously with Chris Pratt and all like that from the MCU, and I think like those are beloved characters who everyone's fallen in love with and really want to see. Really can't wait to see what happens with the third movie, and heck, even with Thor: Love and Thunder, because they're in that movie as well. To see that they were able to bring this together and bring a new set of voice actors to do this. And bring the one of the writers from like earlier comics and everything that really helps you, because I think you can see the banter in them. They really works really well, and I really enjoyed what I like. There are a couple of things that I was just like, oh, why are we fighting a Jello monster? That doesn't look right. It's like, why is it a Jello monster? I don't want to be beaten up by Jello and everything like that.
Listen, I spent 60 hours playing Ventures last year beating up nothing but fucking robots, okay? So I will take jelly monsters. And then and then they were like, oh, here's the next Avengers expansion, and it's more fucking robots.
But you get to play Black Panther though now.
I do.
Wakanda Forever.
I like Wakanda Forever. Like Black Panther's one of my favorites.
Beating up robots as Black Panther?
Yeah, pretty much. That's
probably, yeah. But no, yeah, I really like. I'm a guy who, like I said on many occasions, on multiple occasions, like I need characters to gravitate to. I need to enjoy the people who I'm going to be playing as here and everything. And to see Star-Lord, he's basically what I expected in video game form, and he does a really good job as it to what we've seen and everything. I really enjoyed what we saw. I know there's like something like you told me, Amy, was like apparently there's only one ending, so I was like, so like what you said.
As Keith
So
would
wait,
say, allegedly. But
allegedly, yeah, allegedly there's only one ending for this game, so that's like, how's the
that's
choices gonna work in this?
well, that's cool because the choices could just affect the relationships between the characters, right? Or like, I suppose the characters' relationships to Peter Quill, but like that's cool if like that's how it plays out. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah,
necessarily need a choice based system to be like, and you'll get to one of 7 endings or whatever. But like if it is affecting things as you're going through the game, you know, like
yeah.
it'll
I
be
got a
interesting.
question.
Yeah.
I got a question for you personally, Moody. Are you disappointed that you can only play as like one character,
No,
Star Lord? No.
no,
Okay.
not at all.
I,
Doesn't bother me
I
whatsoever.
I wasn't sure if you were disappointed because you didn't get to play like a version of Baby Groot or Groot just in general or something like that.
Nah, it doesn't bother me. They're going with it. That I give. I'll always allow that. I'll always allow the developer to choose how they want us to play their characters and everything like that. And this is how they want to play it. I'm easy for that. No problem
Oh, it's
whatsoever.
cool. It's a cool idea. It's a cool way to do a single player game built around a team. Because when I was speculating on the game being revealed, and even when it came up, I was like, so it's going to be a co-op game, right? Like, because there's 5 Guardians.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
it's like, no, but the way they've done it is cool, where it's just like you're playing the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So
Yeah.
like you're doing your thing, your Peter Quill thing, but then you're like directing the other, which is what you'd be doing, right? Like if you were the leader of the team, you'd be like, do that thing over there, do you know? So like they've implemented it really well. Shout out to it not being a live service game as well, because I was so
Right.
happy when they said the words it's single player. I was like, thank fucking
Yeah.
God.
Agreed.
Thank you, God.
Thank you. Like finally a Marvel game that I'll actually like play and enjoy.
You play the Spider-Man games.
That's true.
You kind of forgot about those, didn't you?
I did, yeah. You know what I mean. A non-Avengers, like basically, I'm just happy it's not Avengers, okay?
You wouldn't have a problem with Avengers if it was a story game.
Oh no,
If it was
definitely
a single-player game,
no, definitely not. Like
you wouldn't care about. You wouldn't.
I
You'd
would
be
love
like,
it.
yes.
I'd be like, yes, give me that story, not give me these patrols. Running through the fucking city 60,000 times in a row trying to get this drop, or like, hey, we're gonna do a boss rush mode. It's like, cool, how many bosses are in the game? 2. Great, thanks.
And you have to fight all these robots.
And then here's our first expansion with Kate Bishop, and I'm like, I'm really excited for that because Kate Bishop's awesome. What's the boss fight? It's a fucking giant robot, isn't it? Oh, for fuck's sake! It's the robot. It's the same robot from the halfway through the campaign. Like, well, fuck you too, Crystal.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, Amy. Disney have got you for Kate Bishop.
Kate
Bishop later this year.
I'm good. I've got Guardians of the Galaxy, the game. Like one of my favorite moments of the entire E3 was, you'll know, Moody, because again we watched this together, where he's got the tentacle wrapped around his throat. And
yeah.
And then he just like goes, "No, it's cool. I'll call you tomorrow."
yeah. Don't worry, I'll call you. Don't worry.
That's the thing. That's the banter of Star-Lord. You can see how it is and everything, and they do it. They nail it for me.
I like the moment when Drax is like, so we need to disrobe or something, whatever, something like that, and Gamera's like, no, and Star-Lord's like, well, this could work as a diversion, actually.
Yeah,
I like that. It was funny.
Yeah, I love the banter between the characters. The gameplay looks solid. Like from my perspective, from what I saw, it doesn't look amazing, but it looks like it carries the game well enough. So
I think it could be like at the same level of like the first Mass Effect. Great story with great bantering with the characters and everything, but the gameplay maybe just solid. It's good enough to get through the game, but the characters are going to be the thing that drive this and elevate this game. Hopefully,
it's coming out in 2021 as well. So
I know I was actually surprised by that.
That shocked me. Like I didn't expect that. So I'm looking forward to playing it later this year. We'll go to Foxes next.
So another indie, and this one actually
Indie takeover.
This one actually kind of like struck me to my core, just because of how much of a film fan I am. There was a certain game that I feel like kind of looked honestly like the most beautiful thing I had seen in a video game in quite some time, and that was actually shown at, believe it or not, Devolver Digital, and it's called Trek to Yomi, or Trek to Yomi, I should say. It's the black and white samurai film looking video game that's an actual video game, and I couldn't fucking believe it because it looked like I was looking at a movie, and I was like, "Oh my god, is this actually like a legit thing?" And whether it be its kind of actual like specific style that they want to do for that game, I ate it up, and I was like, I have to play this. Like, I want to play another side-scrolling action game that looks gorgeous, and especially with the way that the fire actually like works off of the actual architecture, and the way that it actually brings so much like lighting and darkness still at the same time. Like, oh, it was gorgeous. I was just like, I need to play this game. I have to. Yeah.
This game is a sexy looking game.
So
It
sexy.
is
Oh my god.
so
Yeah.
sexy indeed. This might be the samurai game you've been waiting for, Amy.
Maybe.
Especially as you didn't really click with Ghost of Tsushima last year.
That's
So
true.
this might be the one for you.
7 Samurai, maybe.
Yeah, it's smelt nothing but that.
I watched
It was
that not
literally
that long ago.
Yeah.
It was literally just that. I was just like, yep, we know where they've got their inspiration from.
It looks so good.
Maybe even a little bit of Last Samurai in there as well, just because of the samurai. And that's a great film. I don't need a reason to bring that up. It's a great film, that one.
Yeah. Oh god, it was just so good looking.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely
Sexy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so many good games. And we've got loads more to talk about. Strap the fuck in.
Yeah, that was actually my next big one, only because of honesty. Like, it's beauty, let alone was just actually like, what, like, oh, you're up there just to how you look like already. Like, I mean, sure, I'm a gamer who likes mechanics, but
Oh yeah.
you're already also showing me really good looking mechanics, and I was like, yes, I'm okay. Please.
There's something about a good like style, right? Like not like
Mhm.
necessarily a good style, because like loads of games have good styles, but like a really strong identity to a game,
Mhm.
which is what Trek to Yomi definitely has. That
Mhm.
can just immediately draw you in, like irregardless of anything else. You can look at a game trailer and go, this has a really strong identity that I'm really vibing with.
Mhm.
That would have been a perfect segue into like half my games, but instead, the next one on my list that I really want to talk about is Halo Infinite. Like,
Yes.
So I watched the trailer that was shown at the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase, and then I watched the 12-minute multiplayer showcase that they showed off later. Oh my god, it's Halo.
Halo's
it's
back.
Halo's back.
We get grapple guns again, or not again, but for the first time.
That was awesome. Like,
yeah,
so I'm gonna focus on the multiplayer first, like, in what I want to talk about, which is like from the trailer at the Xbox Bethesda showcase. One, it was really funny when Master Chief picked up the skull and Rudy was just like, Doom. And I was like, not Doom.
but punchy.
Juggernaut. But I see where you're going with that. But no, like the way they showed off the multiplayer was literally, it was like a nice taste of, especially for sort of like Halo veterans, of like this is all the cool shit that you remember from like playing whichever Halo multiplayer was your favorite. And then watching the multiplayer showcase, where they go into like more depth about the multiplayer with the devs, and just being like, okay, cool, like it is that, like, I imagine 343 having to like maintain the Master Chief collection for the last 6 years has probably sort of like given them a really good understanding of like what works and what doesn't in Halo multiplayer.
It's been
Um,
doing really well for them, actually.
and
Like
it
everyone,
is,
like
yeah.
people have been flocking to it. Like they're like, "Oh my god, we're having so much fun on PC or like whatever it is." Just having lobbies again, and like been actually feeling. It's been good for them. Yeah, sorry, continue.
So like yeah, and so like when they were talking about stuff where it's like they wanted it to feel like old like classic Halo. They called it Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So like things like everybody starts off with there's no loadouts anymore. Everybody starts off with like whatever weapons on the map, and then you go and scavenge the weapons on the map. So like everyone's balanced at the beginning, but then you go and find the energy sword, the grav hammer, the rocket launcher,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the weapons are in the game, which is awesome. That's what I really love about Halo. Um, when I was like addicted to like Halo 2 and Halo 3. But like the additions that they're making to the game, like you mentioned the grappling hook, like
Mm-hmm.
they're not so like Halo 4 multiplayer especially felt like it really suffered because they were trying to make Halo more like other first person shooters that were really popular at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that really suffered because that moved it further away from what made Halo great.
Mm-hmm.
Um Whereas the things that they've added to this game that they've shown so far feel like really natural extensions of like bringing Halo multiplayer forward without
Agreed.
betraying the core of what makes Halo multiplayer great. Like the uses of the grappling hook that we saw, like for traversal, for like picking
Mm-hmm.
weapons up, like which I was like,
That
that's fucking sweet as fuck, right? Like,
Yeah, that moment when he grapple hooks like one of the barrels that we've all seen, that we've all ran into and fucking exploded up on, because they're pretty much like nuclear bombs. Grapple hooks that and to literally throw it at someone's like, oh, that's death. Yeah, and that's amazing.
so like I really like what they've done with the multiplayer, and I'm super excited to hopefully get a beta, hopefully get into a beta in the next couple of months, and if not, just
Agreed.
just play the fucking game later on this year. Um,
One note that actually I'd like to bring up that
yeah, sure.
I'm super actually happy, and I was really enthused. Like after they said it, I was actually quite enthused and was like, oh, I think they actually have their eye on the actual ball this time. Was when they said, look, we know we have our big battle, not royale, but their big battle,
Big team,
modes that
yeah.
everyone big team battles, and that there are a lot of people who love them, and we are going to have that legacy feel for that, for even though it's a more newer mode, since I think what 4 I think is when they introduced it or something like that, maybe.
The what was it called? Warzone
Yeah.
in Halo 5,
Um.
yeah.
Yeah. And then and then they said, but you're also gonna have your legacy feel of your arena shooter that's actually tight, and it's
Halo,
coordination and so on and so forth. They actually feel like they're going to grapple and and tackle both. Let's see what it did
see what you did
there.
there. Good.
To basically master it, because I feel like this is gonna be their baby for a while.
Oh yeah, this is a platform. This isn't just a game. I feel like Halo Infinite. I feel like the clues in the name. I feel like this
Yeah,
is going to be like the Halo platform for a while.
agreed.
Um, like I don't think you're going to see like a Halo 7 coming out 3 years from now.
Mm, mm,
Or if you do, I think it'll just be a part of Halo Infinite. Like they'll expand the story with an expansion or
exactly.
something while keeping the multiplayer completely free. Apart from all the microtransactions that I'm sure are in there. But like yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I was going to expand on your point, and I was like, no, you nailed it. That's good. Um,
Do we want to talk about the other side of this coin? Which
yeah,
I'm gonna
like I
be
just want
honest.
to briefly mention that the
Yeah,
the story trailer was good. Like it
yeah.
was good. I liked it a lot. Like it
Hmm.
brings forward the story of Halo, which I was always worried that when they were doing like this spiritual reboot, they were just going to be like, let's just forget everything that happened before. Where it's just like, nope, this definitely continues exactly where Halo 5 left off.
Yeah,
This is good, but there's shades of Halo 4. The Halo 4's
a little
storytelling
bit.
style in there, which, like, and Moody, I
Yeah,
can bring you into this conversation because we both agree that Halo 4's story was the strongest of the main series by far.
I agreed.
Yep.
I liked
Yep.
it a lot.
And there's shades of that in the interactions between Master Chief and Katana,
Mm-hmm.
where there's like this pathos, this characterization. There's some depth there. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
about Master Chief picks up gun, Master Chief kills all the aliens, which is fine
Yeah.
for a blockbuster game, but Halo 4 gave me so much more that I didn't even know I needed.
I mean, like it's so interesting because 1 through 3 is like I'm the badass guy. I am the like hero. I'm the warrior. I'm the one who saves everyone. Whereas 4 is like I'm kind of the sacrificial pawn for projecting this forward because if I die, it all dies. You know, like everything that we have established, it like is gone. And so therefore, if I don't push this forward, you know, it all falls apart. And to be honest with you, it's kind of such as like a sacrificial hero, you know, while also being a badass, but also like it's for something bigger than just him. It's also about something that he wants to preserve, you know. And to be honest with you, I love the way that they told that story in 4.
Forward to this game, I won't lie. I think it's going to be a fun a co-op game that we can all play together. The story,
Mhm.
I am very intrigued by the story, just because I know what's happened. Just because I know what happened on 5, even and everything. I know what, like me and Amy said before, like 4 is the best story out there. Personally, it's the time I actually took notice of Katana and Master Chief. I was like, wait. There's character underneath that hard shell of his.
Streaming all 4 games, Halo's 1 to 4 back to back with Moody. It was the only game where he shut up during the cutscenes.
Nice.
Yeah, I won't lie. I admit that. Yeah, because the story was actually intriguing. You was like, you could finally see there's a connection there between Master Chief and Katana, and it
Yeah.
actually you feel for him with the ending of 4.
Yeah, like
And
I
then
remember
that,
I
yeah.
remember the ending when we were playing it, and it was just
Mhm.
like me, you, and Keith were playing it, and when it was doing like the last part, it was just pure silence. Like no one was saying anything.
Yeah.
Everyone was just riveted,
Yeah,
and I really enjoyed
like
Good
that.
game.
everyone
I
loves the voice
I
of
think so.
Master Chief. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, yeah, I think it's a good game. I don't know why it's not revered as a better Halo game, but you know, it is what it is.
Because it wasn't made by the originals, was it? The first 3
No,
were by
no.
Bungie, weren't they?
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
343's first game, and I think there was some
Yeah,
backlash to that. I think
basically, yeah.
I don't think like many people like obviously Halo's 1 to 3 are obviously very revered games. The campaigns are a really good gameplay. And they're entertaining in terms of like, you know, hey, let's fucking kill all the aliens, right? Like it was entertaining enough, but I don't think people
Cyber race each
I don't
time.
think people vibed with like the deeper levels of storytelling so much.
Which is interesting because when you read old, well, not old, but like when you read Halo stories about like actually like coming up, it actually has so much actually kind of fucked up, but also characteristic lore that establishes itself, but really doesn't shine through to the first 3 games, other than just being like, "I- "I'm the good badass," you know, like that kind of sort of thing, you know, and you know, it really kind of shines through in 4, my personal.
Like Halo's 1 to 3's strength is its lore and its
Yeah.
world building, not really its characters. Like the only reason the Sarge became such an iconic video game character is because he's funny. Like not
Yeah.
because he has any deep characterization. He just happens to have some great one-liners. Whereas Halo 4 expanded the lore of the Halo universe, but also like told a character-driven story as opposed to a lore-driven story. And I personally much prefer that storytelling style.
I would agree.
You need to care about the characters.
Agreed. Most definitely. Do we if it's okay, I'd like to make a little note. I love the way that they're handling Battle Pass. It's such a new and inventive way, in my personal opinion.
I don't know what
I was
they've done for the
coughing.
Battle Pass, so I can't comment on
Oh,
that.
really? So basically, what they're doing with their Battle Pass, you buy it once, and that's it. You don't have to repurchase it every new season. You don't have to. Okay, not only do you not have to
They're
repurchase
not
it,
doing the Activision version, are you saying?
what they're also doing is any skins or anything that you want from previous seasons that you missed or you decided to take a break or whatever it may be, you could just go get it again. You can go work towards it again. You can like the best way that they have it is, and I like the way I like their business model is that if you want it, you can work towards and go get it. you're not going to be roadblocked by anything because you bought it and you should be able to get it.
You have the game, like you can get whatever.
So yeah, you're right, not Activision's thing, but to be honest with you, there's so many battle passes now that like if you literally like Apex, if you missed on a skin, you missed on a skin. Oh well, And while yes, it works because live service games, but it also is, I think, a very consumer friendly while also gamer friendly feel for such an interesting model. I mean, I don't think we could ever get rid of it because it's now such a staple, but it is one of those things that like, okay, I do like the fact that all you gotta do is get it once.
Yeah, which also vibes. It kind of like vibes with Microsoft's whole deal at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of like inclusivity and accessibility. It's like it's corporate synergy, but like in a cool way, where it's just like, oh, like
True.
like you are never going to be gated away from anything that you actually want from the game. If there's a cool multiplayer skin that you see, but you're taking a break from the game for whatever reason, you can just come back. When you come back, you can get it. Like you can go for it, like to get it, and that's cool. I like that kind of thing. As a person who heavily invested in Apex last year, got a lot of cool stuff out of it, but then like I've dropped off of it, and it's like there's loads of cool stuff that's probably came and went through that game I'm never gonna see again, because like if I ever pick the game up, I'm not gonna be able to go back and go, okay, cool, I'll like work towards getting this awesome skin for this character for Loba, my main character. Nope, that's done.
I love Loba.
I love Loba too. She's great. I'm in love.
That was a lot of Halo talk. Shall we move
Moody.
on? No?
Yeah. I want to know what Moody's next non-Halo game is. See, what happens is, me and you, my foxes, one of us says a game, and then we talk about it for 10 minutes, and Moody just goes, oh, okay. Video games, am I right?
I will not yuck on anyone's yum.
No, definitely not. No, not yuck on yum. That's not what this podcast is about. If you've come to this E3 podcast expecting us to bitch about stuff, you are going to be very disappointed by the end of this episode.
They're happy. God damn it.
We are the positivity brigade. We talk about the things that we like. It's crazy, right? Like,
and it's almost like we just ignore the bad things because guess what?
Because you know what? Life's too short. There's too many great games. Why the fuck would I concentrate on things I don't like or I'm not vibing with when I can talk about things that I'm excited about and love? And with that in mind, Moody, what is the next thing that you want to talk about?
I think we'll stick with an Xbox exclusive.
Have we talked about anything apart from the Xbox showcase yet?
Avatar, Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's just like,
Trek to Yuma or Yoma.
I'm trying to like gauge where I'm at in terms of like being accused of a fangirl or something. So. All right. Hold on, I know I've got it around here somewhere. Hold on. Let me just hold this up really quickly. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay, I can change this. That's fine.
No, don't go for it. Xbox. I want to know what you're excited about. So tell me.
Forza Horizon 5.
Ooh.
Forza Horizon 5. Was a great showing. Let's just be frank. It was a great showing. A great showing so much that Amy's probably got this game on our Crown Critic because she outbid me by 1 point.
I looked at Moody's entire remaining budget and bid for Forza Horizon 5 $1 more than everything he had. I was like, I'm getting this game, Moody.
That's pretty good, actually.
I'm going for this. Yeah, sorry.
Looks amazing.
Yes, it does.
It looks absolutely visually amazing, and if it's anything to boot like what with Horizon 4 was and Horizon 3 was, this is going to be an incredible game.
I love that it's in Mexico. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Visually, yeah, it looks absolutely a masterclass as always. Fair play to Playground Studios, man. My goodness, they are incredibly talented. No wonder they've been given Fable and everything. Which obviously I think's an open. We'll wait until we see more of that for game because they've only done driving games really. But I'm very fascinated to see what happens with that. But yeah, a great looking game. Can't wait for it. It's in Game Pass, ladies and gentlemen.
What if the new the next hero of Fable is just a car? Like, oh, hang on.
It's a transformer.
Wait a minute. It's a transformer.
It's Bumblebee. And this time he can talk.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 5, like I love the reveal. Like I said to you when we were watching it, Moody, it's like it's the one driving game that I enjoy. Like the Forza Horizon series. I've played every single one and I've really enjoyed every single one. Like, am I disappointed that it's not going to be in Japan again? Yeah, sure. I really want to play a Forza Horizon game in Japan, but Mexico's a really good choice. Like
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like the diversity of the places that you can go to. Like, you're down at the beaches, you can go into the towns and the cities, there's a freaking active volcano you can drive around. Like, okay, you know what? I'm in. I'm in. My only hope with this game is that they go deeper in the. So, was it the fourth game where you started basically running the
Yeah,
Horizon
basically, yeah.
Festival? Like, I want them
Yeah.
to go deeper into the mechanics of actually running it as opposed to like. It was pretty surface level.
Mm-hmm.
Last time out, and it was fine, and I enjoyed it, obviously, because I like all
It
of
was
them.
pretty. Yeah, it
But
was pretty streamlined. It was,
it was
hey,
pretty
go
streamlined.
here. It's gonna start. Hey, finish race.
Pick one
Go
of
go
these
back to the
like
next
three
one.
places where you can put down
Yeah,
a tent, and it's like,
yeah.
yeah, all right. I mean, it's fine for what it is, but I would like to sort of have like more customization, more control. It's like if I put the tent here, like
Mm-hmm.
this will happen, like other like yeah, like a bit deeper on that. But like I can't fault the driving, I can't fault the events. Like I fucking love doing the showcase events, like where you race like a train or a plane or like some guy like skydiving out of a fucking
Mm-hmm.
like or whatever. It's just like I've always loved those. Like the spectacle is great, but I'm super
Mm-hmm.
excited for Forza Horizon 5.
It was gorgeous. It
Yeah,
absolutely
I have
was.
to put in if you don't mind because something's dropped. And our friend of Joseph Moran's kind of
Is it
breathing
Bloodborne
here.
2?
From Software is apparently making another PlayStation exclusive game, Project Velvet Veil.
Oh God! I don't want to buy another PlayStation.
I thought about it, you know. That.
I almost kind of have to.
Just give me a minute, Moody. Could you just take over the podcast for a minute while I just process what you've just said to me?
Yeah, Forza Horizon 5 looks an incredible game, and I think it's going to be. I think it could actually get nominated for Best Game of the Year if it gets the points it wants, because they will always do a really good job. Oh my god, it's gone. That one thing has literally risen foxes from the grave and brought him on camera, ladies and gentlemen. This is now incredible.
Don't do this to me.
What did you say
Make
the name
it
of
a
it was?
timed exclusive, please.
What did
Say
you
that
say?
again?
What did you say it was called? Project what?
Project Velvet Veil.
The veil, meaning as is in like probably bride and or death related, as is in Bloodborne, because there's so many actually beasts and so many moments that actually have a veil, and then the fact that you said Project what veil? You Crimson
Velvet Veil.
Velvet, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I could see them easily going like switching from like a dark red to like a purple. Like that's probably a Bloodborne 2, or at least a really close version of it.
Like Dark Souls was to Demon Souls. Okay, you know what? It's a rumor. We're here to talk about E3. Moody just derailed the entire podcast. Let's get back on it, and we'll talk about E3 games. Foxes is dead, so
I can't buy a PlayStation for fuck. I can't do it to myself. No,
You
I will
can't
go
find
broke.
them, mate. There's thousands of out there, but they're all in sheds.
they're not all in sheds. I'm just saying. I am perfectly well prepared for Project Sacred Veil. Just throwing that out there.
I
Velvet
may
Veil.
I may just have to come have a
Do you
visit.
want to come live with us? Right.
Yeah, we'll take another person.
We'll talk about that next week. If I can summon words. Foxes, what's another game that you want to talk about that's not Bloodborne 2?
Oh yeah, I gotta collect myself. We in all honesty, we got a a release date for Diablo 2 Resurrected. As a huge Diablo fan, actually, that's awesome. Like, I mean, obviously, like it was probably going to release somewhat soon, but like it's very soon. And to be honest
Yeah,
with
it
you,
is. Yeah.
that's I'm gonna put so much fucking time into that again. I put so much of my early teens, young childhood into that game. Too much, I can say probably.
It's one of those
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Anything to add to that, Moody?
What are you saying? Sorry.
Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Diablo 2 Resurrected got a release date. And like I'm like it's kind of more like a personal thing because like I kind of grew up with that game. I played the fuck out of that game. I put hundreds of hours into that game. It's ridiculous.
I used to love Diablo 2 years
Mhm.
ago on the PC, years and years and years ago before I fell off gaming and then came back to it. Diablo 3 was absolutely amazing, especially played really well on console. I couldn't believe how well it played on console with a controller. So yeah, I think it's. I don't know if I'll touch it on PC. I think it'll probably be something me and my partner play if it comes on console. I would love to see it
Nice.
on console.
Yeah, I think it will be maybe.
It was on the Xbox show, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
it was.
actually. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I hope that means that it's not just going to be PC, that it could come console.
There were a couple of games at the Xbox showcase that were PC only.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully this is not just that. But yeah.
To be
Hopefully.
fair though, I don't know how maybe if you have like a separate computer, like a laptop or something like that, Diablo runs on just about anything these days because it's not an intensive game, and I don't imagine. So the one thing that I will have to admit that I don't know if you've seen, you remember how in Halo Master Chief Collection where you can toggle the different graphics of like the old one, you could do that in this one too. It will actually like
That's cool.
go back to its original resolution size, the way it used to be projected, and then obviously you have your more updated ones.
That's really cool.
Updated graphics. It's I like it. It kind of gives you a little nostalgia feel. Yeah.
I like nostalgia. I think
Yeah.
everybody does. I mean, that's why it works so well.
Mhm.
Next one for me is one from the Tribeca Film Festival, which they did a game spotlight, which was about an hour long, and I really dug it. Like hey, Tribeca Film Festival, you got some good tasting games. I'm just gonna throw it out there. This one is Kena Bridge of Spirits, which it's a PlayStation game, so we'll probably see more about it in a few weeks when PlayStation do whatever they're gonna do for the summer. But like, its continued existence just awes me. Like, this game looks unbelievably cool. Like, it looks so good. It's a Pixar movie that you get to play. Like, in terms of its visuals. In terms of its gameplay, like, we got to see the bits and pieces in between, like the developers being interviewed, and it looks really solid as a third-person action adventure game. And I really cannot wait for this game to come out so I can demolish it on my PlayStation.
That game absolutely looks amazing, and I'm so happy it's going to be on Epic so I can play it on PC. It looks amazing. It's so cute and adorable, yet the gameplay looks so fluid and smooth, and it has a good combination with the staff that you can use it as a close combat, or you can go long distance with it. It's really looks like a really well balanced combat game, and I really like that.
You get the cute little creature dudes.
Yeah, the cute little creature dudes, which you need to have in this game to make it even more awesome.
I'm gonna get a plushie.
I can't wait. I bet you are. I can't wait. This looks so good. It's August, and I believe it releases.
August, towards the end of August, it's coming out.
I take it this is a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, it's a PlayStation
and Epic
console.
exclusive.
Oh, Epic. Okay. Oh, only
it's on PC
console?
as well. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's
nice.
on Epic, yeah.
Very
It's
nice.
a PC on Epic Games Store, PlayStation 5.
Awesome.
I'm
Very
pretty
cool,
sure
very
it's
cool.
PlayStation 4 as well. Like 50-50 on that, though. So
I don't think so.
Don't take that to the bank.
I'll have a look for it, but I don't believe it is.
But yes, it is. It's a wonderful looking game.
Oh no, yeah, PlayStation 4. It's the same PlayStation 4 as well.
And you'll undoubtedly hear a lot more about it whenever PlayStation do a showcase what do they call them?
Oh, hell yeah. State of Play.
State of Play, yeah. Like they'll do one in a few weeks, and Kena will be a part of it. From what I've heard, Final Fantasy 16 will be a part of it as well. Which is weird. Square Enix would just skip E3 with one of their biggest games, but that PlayStation.
They could have waited. They could have put Guardians on PlayStation.
That PlayStation money, that talks. What can I say?
Like I said, PlayStation should just buy Square Enix by now. Let's do it.
Square Enix.
The only thing that I'm hearing right now is chaos.
Again, Moody,
And
like
nothing
it's
but chaos. That's all I'm hearing.
chaos. It's all about killing chaos. You know, like oh my god, that meme was hilarious. But yeah.
Sorry, I had to bring it up.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna be talking about it on Monday, so I played the demo.
It was terrible. Well, how was the demo at least?
I'll tune in on
Find out
Monday's
on Monday.
episode. Fashionably late reviews
Okay,
to find
fair.
out. I
That's
don't
fair.
really.
That's fair.
Owing to something I said a little bit ago, I don't really want to talk about it.
That's fair.
That should tell you what you need.
It should if you're Moody. What's your next? What's the next? What's next?
Plague's Tale Requiem.
Oh, yeah.
First one is absolutely amazing game, and I can't wait to see what they do extra with this game. It's very unique. It's very different. It seems like the tweaking on the visuals would make it even more pretty than because the first one I always thought
Pretty.
these visuals could be a little bit better. It could be a little bit better. I could appreciate though it's an indie. It was an indie studio, first game they ever did, and they threw out a lot. They prioritized probably more story, and characters, which was the better thing I think overall.
And rat
But they
AI.
make
And rat AI.
and rat AI, yeah, that rat AI was a pain in the ass in a good way.
Oh,
But
it was horrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
in a
can
great way.
appreciate that.
It was, but it was
Yeah.
still like, ooh, shit.
yeah,
It looked really good, to be honest with you, even though it was gross to look at.
It was an
looked
awesome game.
really good.
It was an
Yeah.
awesome game.
well done to the developer with the success of the first one, and I'm so happy to see they're doing a sequel. See what they do. Bring it on.
Yeah,
They
it's in
did.
Game Pass.
They didn't really show much. It was just a trailer.
No,
There
it's
was no combat or anything. It was just a trailer for a visual trailer.
It's a
So I can't really
2022
tell
game
much.
in it, so just tease them now. Mention that this will be a Game Pass game, and then just
Mm-hmm.
let people know that it exists. It was funny. Me and Moody obviously saw this together, and I thought Moody thought I was psychic because I was like, "Oh, it's a Plague Tale. Oh, it's the sequel. It's coming in 2022. It's called Requiem." And he was like, "Oh, it's called Requiem. You nailed that." And I was like, "Yeah, it leaked like 2 days ago."
No, I had no idea. I barely see leaks, so I'm all right. So
Was fun to
I stick
you
to
wonder
my
how
own pocket.
how I somehow guessed the title.
You should have just gone along with it.
Should have just been like, "Yeah, I'm just that good, man.
Yeah.
I'm just that good."
I'm not good.
At figuring this shit out, right? Like, oh,
The thing is, I'm so gullible. I would have gone along with it. That's how crazy it is, ladies and gentlemen.
he never would have known.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Foxes. What's next? 30 minutes left.
Okay, so like in all honesty, I'd rather talk about something that we actually really, really got to see.
30 minutes left. I have 13 games.
Yeah.
Wow, fair enough.
Time to hit the accelerator.
Death's Door, actually, that was another Devolver Digital.
I've got one less game now.
Nice. That was kind of like it's another distinctive style. But at the same time, its fluid combat was really what kind of drew me to it, and then the fact that you are doing different things, even in said combat, and they just show it to you. I like the look of this game, and to be honest with you, it seems kind of like I don't want to necessarily keep comparing combat
Things
games
to other things, but
yeah, like Metroidvania, like I'm gonna use it as like Metroidvania, but it seems kind of puzzly in that sort of way, while also using very fluid and interesting combat. I like the look of this game, and it looks like it's gonna be fun.
Reminded me a little bit, like in terms of its gameplay, it was a bit reminiscent of Hyper Light Drifter.
Yes. Yep.
Which
I agree.
is a game I really enjoyed. Shout out to Keith because he's had this game on his radar for like all year, and I've had this game on my radar since Saturday. So, like, shout out to Keith for like just like
Sniffed
finding good
something
games.
out
He sniffed
before
out a game.
you.
Sniffed out a
My
game before me.
goodness.
Um,
Damn.
and then I went on Fantasy Career, was like, cheeky bid on that. Oh wait, it's not available, and then it's been in Keith's team for months, and I don't even know. It looks really cool, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. It's in Game Pass when it comes out.
Awesome.
I might say Game Pass is the best thing out there.
Some might say Game Pass is absurdly good. And like by the end of 2022, based on what we've seen, bearing in mind there will be more things that get added to it, it's going to be the greatest value thing in the history of video games. Like with the games that you're going to have been able to play through all of this. Like my next game, 12 minutes.
Yes.
Hey, I can knock one off my list.
Is one of my most hyped games of the year. We saw it at E3 2 years ago, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Right before Keanu Reeves, and like I was sold on the premise from the get go, like, and I have just been not so patiently waiting to find out when I can actually play this game.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think we've both been there, haven't we?
Yeah, like this, I want this game like really badly, like a time loop game where it's like, you know, Willem Dafoe knocks on your door and he's gonna beat the shit out of you, and Daisy Ridley, and like, you know, like you got to figure out what's going on and try and like stop it, and like everything I've seen so far about what can potentially go down in this game is awesome, and I can respect the fact that they need to keep as much of the game under wraps as possible, because obviously you play through 12-minute long time loops, and the story and the revelations are critical to the game. Like that's basically the entire game, so I could understand why we haven't seen very much of it. But I think that all that's done is driven my hype as opposed to like dampen it, where it's just like you get to see tiny little snippets of it, and I'm just like, I need more, so much more of this.
Yeah.
I'm
right there with you.
Yeah, so luckily we don't have to wait very long for it.
I love top-down games. It's my type of game. It's just one little thing, and the premise is so different and so unique. I was like, I know everyone, like you said, Amy, right after it came out was Keanu Reeves and you're breathtaking and all like that, and everyone was like, oh my god, it's Keanu! Yeah.
Just on
but
that
I still
point,
remembered the game even after that.
I was going to say, just on that point, Keanu Reeves came out, right? And he did the Cyberpunk thing, and he was like, you're breathtaking. And the Keanu moment was great. Cyberpunk wasn't so great, but can I just point out that the two games, the game that immediately came before that and the game that immediately followed that, were 12 minutes in the Spiritfarer. Like, both amazing games. Like, so like, fair play to Xbox. They knew what they were doing when they put those things in order.
They did. Well done. I can knock that off on it.
I've lost all thought of where the fuck I'm going, but I'm pretty sure it's Moody next.
2 Point Campus.
Oh yeah.
I love 2 Point Hospital. Absolutely adore that game. I won't lie, I was late to the game. I didn't play it until it came to Game Pass on Xbox. And then when I found out, and then I was like, wait, PC. Boom,
PC.
Boom. There we go. Especially when I got my better PC, I was just like, yeah. And I absolutely love that game. It was one of my favorite games over the last few years to play. It was just so relaxing and just seeing. So this is how to be a doctor. No wonder we've been pandemic for a year and a half.
This is an accurate representation of
2020
of the UK healthcare system.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Loved it. I can't wait for this. It's probably going to play completely the same how Hospital did, but just because it's on campus, I'm just like, I'm kind of at college, so why the hell not?
Yeah, like one of the first things I did when I saw this reveal trailer was grab it off of YouTube and send it to Erica, Sneaky Pete from Among Us, because obviously she's a deputy head teacher, and she loved 2 Point Hospital. So I was like, here's a game that's like that, but it's set at a university. Like, if that's not like just like a synergy that you're going to appreciate, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Facts. True facts there. Never been spoken so well. Yeah.
I really
Agreed.
looking forward to it
Agreed.
though.
Next year.
Next year,
Game Pass.
2022. I
Game
don't
Pass, I
know.
think. Can't
I don't think so.
What's on the Xbox showcase though, wasn't it?
I don't remember specifically
Well,
which showcase. I saw it like 3 or 4 times over the course of the week, so I'm not 100% sure which showcases I saw it at. But yeah, like I love 2.0 spells, so 2 Point Campus, like 2 Point whatever they do, right? Like I'm sure after 2 Point Campus there'll be another 2 Point something, another 2 Point something else, and I'm just down for all of them because like I love the sense of humor, I love the mechanics, I love how deep the simulation stuff goes, where it doesn't go too deep, where it's like Crusader Kings, where I tried to play Crusader Kings 3 and I just fucking I might as well have been in Latin for all I could figure out how to play that game. But it's deep enough where I can pick it up and go, I can understand this.
So it says Xbox, but doesn't say Game Pass.
All right,
so.
cool. They have a good relationship with the publisher, Sega. So
Yeah. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't go in before it's meant to come out.
Any thoughts on 2 Point Campus, Foxes?
I haven't played 2 Point Hospital. I have seen streams of it, and it looks
It's fun.
like the most fun chaos that you could have. Because in all honesty, you could either run a somewhat well working hospital, or it could just completely run you, which is kind of awesome in and of itself. Looks like a really fun game. I'd love to actually like watch someone play this one too. To be honest with you, I'm not very good with simulation games. I get lost like pretty easily, and then next thing I know, like my Sim Cities, all of them have all
Yeah.
just basically crumbled in on themselves.
I gotta say, when I play these games, like I just beeline straight for the sandbox mode. I don't really fuck with the campaigns. Like I hate like it's like it's fine. Like it's like it's a well-made game. It's just one of those things where I don't like building something and then starting again from a different location with like slightly more stuff. And then doing it again, and then doing it again. It's just like, just give me a big ass open space, give me everything to research, and I'll just let me go wild with it. But I'm sure you'll be able to do that in this because you could do that in 2 Point Hospital as well. Foxes, what's your next game?
So one game I actually mentioned last time on last show, I was hoping that we'd get to see more gameplay of Sifu. And we did. It was a very short one, but in all honesty, I dug every minute of it because it looks like it's another fun, fluid brawler, like beat 'em up, like in a way, while also probably going to have maybe some Absolver like type of like blocks and techniques and counters and stuff like that. Because to be honest with you, I guess it was kind of like the showing of like a little bit of a boss fight, right there at the very end, and he loses. It's still very telling of how the game core of the gameplay is, is going to happen. It's like it's going to be difficult. Like it's you're. I wonder if it's one of those things though, like because we've seen in the past trailer that he gets old, and that if you don't like progress after a certain point in certain time, that no matter how many times you try, like it's over, or if, like you just like the older you get, maybe you obtain more experience somehow. I like because it seems like it's a core game mechanic, but at the same time, I'd like to see how it actually plays out because I like from the way that this game shows itself, it seems like it's not going to be easy. I mean, it's going to be fun, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be.
Yeah, I played
easy on
I
you,
played the developer's last game, Absolver, which was also like
Mhm.
it was like a kung fu heavily like based action game. Which involved like you built combos with cards. So like you collected cards of different moves, and then you built combos that flowed together, and then like obviously execute those different combos. So like you could like imagine like a third person action game where it's like you got all the different combos, but you're building them yourself.
Interesting.
And it was good. It was a lot of fun. It was really, really in depth. Like these
Mhm.
these developers like know kung fu. Like
That's
they
amazing.
really know their kung fu stuff. But it was also challenging. I wouldn't say it was like difficult. I'd say it was challenging, but part of that was you have to get to grips with the system.
Gotcha.
And like once you do that, it's like those first couple hours of Bloodborne, right? It's just like it's challenging, but once you get to grips with it, you start feeling like you're getting somewhere. And it was the same with Absolver. So Sifu is like by the same developer, and like yeah, I imagine it's going to be have just as much of a grasp on the kung fu, and I'm really interested to see what they do with the gameplay
Agreed.
because they haven't
look
really
good.
mentioned cards, so I'm guessing it's going to be a bit different from their last game. For me next, I'm just gonna go. Oh, my next game was Forza Horizon 5. Well, I can check that off because we've already done that one. So for my next game, I'm going to talk about Nintendo because we haven't talked about Nintendo at all tonight. The direct that supposedly saved E3. I just want to quickly check off Metroid Dread.
Yes.
As like being the one thing, like apart from Breath of the Wild 2, but it's Breath of the Wild 2. Like it was no surprise that they showed it and that it was coming out next year. Metroid Dread was like the one thing that was like, holy shit. That was the one holy shit moment I got from the direct. Like they're doing a new 2D Metroid, like 15 years later or whatever it is, and looks great. Like I watched the 20-minute gameplay presentation at the Treehouse Live event after the direct to see what the crack was. I love Metroidvanias, and it's in the name. Like this series is where they got the name from. Like, so like, there's some cool and interesting stuff in there. Like the in the trailer itself, and then confirmed later, where it's like that robot that's chasing Samus. Like, if that catches you in the game, it just kills you. Like, if it's chasing you, you got to try and get out of the room. That goes into lockdown, and then that's an interesting mechanic. I feel like. Like they've added some stuff to the game, like they were talking about the slide that they've added, which I guess they kind of need to, because I feel like Metroidvanias for the last 10 years, like all of the characters in them now slide. So I guess you've got to add that to Metroid 5, but super.
Gotta give it
excited.
to Symphony of the Night for that one.
Yeah.
It's like once we added slide, that was it.
the other thing that Metroidvania was named after. I'm very happy Metroid is back. Like Metroid Prime is great. Like, and I love it, and I'm looking forward to the fourth one sometime in the 2030s. But like I'm really happy that 2D Metroid is back.
I may even actually ask Megan if, like, in the times when she's not using her Switch, if I can like purchase this and actually play it on it, because like a Metroid's back, an actual proper one. Yeah, I want to play it.
Yeah, it's an old school classic Metroid. Moody.
Hear me.
Hit me.
I'm sorry, I don't hit women.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
I want to throw off a couple, if that's all right, to speed it up.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to do that same a couple of times later. So
yeah, these are games from arguably for me the best conference throughout the show this year, which was the Wholesome Direct. Absolutely fantastic.
Someone
show.
finally said it. The Wholesome Direct was the best E3 conference in 2021. Really E3.
Apart from just all 70 games were all amazing, and you should give a try, in all in different unique ways. I just want to shout out these ones that really the ones that stood out for me. Lake, Fire Tonight, and The Garden Path, and Lakeburg. Lakeburg was not on that.
Lakeburg Legacies?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Don't know how I suddenly came up with that name after looking down at the device I'm reading off.
Yeah, those, I absolutely love the look of all these games. But yeah, Wholesome Direct was better than Xbox, Ubisoft, Nintendo, who apparently saved E3, Square Enix.
Apparently.
Summer Game Fest.
Maybe not Devolver, but Devolver's on its own category. We don't count Devolver.
Devolver's like Nintendo. They're in their own area, just doing themselves. Everything, but oh yeah.
Just to follow up on that with 2 quick points. The first one is Lake was on my list, as I alluded to at the beginning of the show. Lake is one of my most excited, like one of the games I'm most excited for in 2021. I played the demo for it earlier this year. It's fucking chill as fuck, with cool characters that you get to chat to while you're delivering mail to them. Love it. Can't wait. So can't wait. I've tempted to play the demo again. Like, while I wait, because it's back.
I'm gonna try it. Yeah.
Because it's back. So I was like, should I play the demo again? Like, no, I won't play the demo again. I'll just wait till September 1st. Second, I bought one of the T-shirts. You know, they were doing the charity thing, and they were selling selling merch. I bought one of the T-shirts.
I was gonna, then the price went so far up because of the shipping. I was like,
did it?
No. For me, did you?
Right. Like, it only added like $6 onto it when I did it.
For me, it went up to 10.
Oh shit, fair enough. I almost bought that, and they had like the diorama. And I almost bought both, and I was like, no, Amy, only buy one thing. Like, you gave it to choose. Do you want a diorama or do you want a T-shirt? And I was like, I'll get a T-shirt. Because Wholesome Games are like my brand. Like, my brand is either super difficult, super violent games, or really chill, wholesome games. And there's nothing in between. Foxes, hit me.
So another one actually from Devolver Digital, which I liked its even though we didn't get to see a lot of its gameplay, although they may have showed more of it later on, but specifically for its art style and then kind of its cheekiness, Wizard with a Gun was revealed. Devolver
I love the title of that game.
Yeah,
it's so fucking awesome.
Sorry, I know we went from like wholesome to like, hey, so Wizard,
like I said, super violent or super wholesome.
Yeah. I really dig its art style. It kind of gives me something about it. Kind of gives me don't starve vibes, like, you know, from its art style. But I do like its like top down kind of like twin stick shooter-ish, you know, I think like action to it, you know, while also, you know, using spells and stuff like that, and the fact that there's like maybe not endless combinations, but there's a lot of, you know, different things you can do with it. That's cool. I appreciate a lot of different ingenuity of just being like, hey, here's a bunch of different things, have at it, have fun, you know, like do whatever you want. You end up like making something that's just fun to do, and or whatever. It could be even OP or like whatever it may be. But I dig the look of this game, and it looks like it could be a really fun time. And to be honest with you, also looks like a good co-op fun time too, to be honest with you.
I do enjoy games that like you like build stuff, say, for example, and then don't give a shit if you build something super OP. Like, they don't care. It's like, that's part of the game. Yep. Like, you make a build that's super OP, that's fine. It's in the game. Do it. Go for it.
The dart style is amazing for that. That's what I said.
Yeah,
really cool.
I love the name. Like I said, I love the name. I love the title of that game.
Wizard with a Gun.
Wizard with a Gun.
Yeah.
This is how you do it, J.K. Rowling. Fuck you.
Wizard with a Gun. Fucking do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna pull a Moody. I've got like a bunch of games I want to talk in depth about, but I'm gonna pull a Moody because I did make a list of like indie games that I just wanted to name check because I don't really have anything massively specific to say about them. But like the trail, I vibed with the trailers. I don't remember which indie directs they were from, so I can't call it. It was all from the Wholesome, or it was all from Guerrilla Collective. I was just like, look, I watched a lot. I can't keep it all straight in my head, but I just want to name check some of them. Immortality, which is a new game from Sam Barlow, sounds really cool. And it's the guy who made Telling Lies and Her Story. So I'm automatically like, I'm in. Let's do this. Lakeburg Legacies, which is a really cool, fun, chill-looking game that I'm definitely interested in playing. Venice 2089. Yokai Inn. No Longer Home, which I think was an IGN one. I forgot IGN had an expo. Kitsune Tales, which is basically like a massive queer Mario game, so like, of course, I was in on that one. Behind the Frame and No Longer Home. Like, those are all, check all those trailers out. Like, they're all pretty short, but those are games that kind of stood out to me while I was watching the various indie showcases.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they stuck in my brain, right? Because I built this list of games without looking at any like recaps or like going in on Discord where I dropped a bunch of trailers. I was literally building this from memory, so because I figured that was the best way to build this list, right? It's like, which are the games that I remember? Sitting down to write this list. Check all those trailers out; they're really cool. Moody, give me some more games.
I'll throw off a couple of more.
Yeah.
Road 96 looks really cool. Vibed really well with that. The Big Con, really like the look of that one. Really
That was
lot
cool.
of fun.
That was cool. Yeah.
Loot River, had a lot of fun with that one. Like all really great looking games. Definitely give them a try.
Loot River was cool.
OFK.
You just
really...
Are you just reading my list at this point?
Yeah, probably, yeah. And I don't know if I had to say this one. Cubenary, Cubenary, Wizard Academy announced.
Oh, there was a wizard. Yeah, I think I remember this one.
Yeah. The Harry Potter game I want to play, ladies and gentlemen.
The Harry Potter game that's not like written by a massive turf who's a piece of shit. Yeah. Yeah, cool. I'm like, I love the idea of like going with like a witches and wizards academy, and I'm really looking forward to someone making a good game about it. Yeah, you name checked a couple of things there for me. Road 96, I won't go into too much because I played the demo. We're going to talk about it on the next Fashionable reviews coming out on Monday.
I have that downloaded, so hopefully I'll give my 1-2 thoughts on it.
But the trailer, like, and the possibilities of like going on this road trip across this war torn country, and like it's like the procedurally generated stories, I guess, that you're gonna run into on your way. Like it's a really, really awesome premise. I mentioned it when we talked about most anticipated games of the year back in January. Is this being like right up there as something I'm really, really excited to play? The other one you mentioned, which was on my list, which I checked off as soon as you said it, wasn't Big Con.
Loot River.
That was also one as well. It's a roguelike. Is it?
Yes.
It's a roguelike top-down action game where you move around on platforms, and the platforms are shaped like Tetris blocks. So you're like you'll go on a platform and you can move it, and it'll like slot in with another platform, and then you go on that platform and you can like move them all around, and they've got all like monsters and loot and stuff on it, and you're going up this river. It's such a cool idea. Like,
it's actually kind of cute.
Yeah, I'm so down for that.
Really yeah.
And We Are OFK. Sorry, like that was the other one that you mentioned. Like when this was announced at the Game Awards last year, I was like, it looks interesting, but I have no idea what the fuck this is. It seemed like some kind of like virtual band, like they were trying to announce at the Game Awards. So I was just like, I don't get this, but I'm interested. I'll keep an eye out for it. And then it turned up at E3, and I was like, oh, it's a story game. Like, it's a narrative game. I get it now. You've explained it to me. And then watching the trailer and like seeing like the characters interact and getting like snippets of gameplay and stuff, and I was like, fuck, I'm down. Like, this game looks cool, the characters look cool, the story looks interesting, the gameplay looks interesting. I mean, We Are OFK. Like, you sold me on it. It took you 2 goes, but you sold me on it. Like, so.
Mm-hmm.
And also a shout out to them for having the protagonist wearing a t-shirt that says Black Trans Lives Matter.
I did not notice that.
I did notice that. It was cool. Like, I like games that actually have things to say. Ubisoft. And those are all the ones off of that you just rattled off that were on my list as well. So that's cool. Fox says,
I've actually got a few that I can rattle off as well.
Let's do it. Let's rattle. Take that rattle out and shake it about.
So we got more Solar Ash gameplay, which I was actually wanting, which looks amazing, and I actually can't wait to play it because the makers of Hyper Light Drifter were speaking about it earlier. Looks really, really good. I love its verticality and the way you can handle things, and then it kind of gives me a little bit the Shadow of the Colossus vibes.
Yep.
With the stuff that it was doing.
Yep.
Another one, we finally actually get gameplay of Sable. Comes out. Come to find out, it's actually a third-person puzzle platformer, adventure game. And a Game Pass game, and it looks still amazing. I love it. I still love its art style. Like
demo's out there right now.
I was gonna say, like,
really?
I was gonna bolt onto that.
on Steam.
Oh, it's amazing.
I was gonna bolt onto that and say, check out what I say about that game on Monday. I streamed the demo of it last night. I might have a couple of positive things to say about it.
And then my last one, this one really caught my eye because another stylistic game. It reminded me a lot of Limbo. It was Silt. You're basically like the diver, and you get like all the creepy fish creatures that are basically you have to like kind of like dodge and puzzle, like just like Limbo. And honestly, I dig it. It's kind of cool, and the way that like you transfer your mind, kind of like how you do with like Inside and stuff like that, but like between you and the fish, is pretty cool too.
Yeah, it caught my eye, and then I was like, it's underwater, so I was like, shit. But before I realized that, it looked like a cool game that I would be into. So, like I got knocked for being set underwater. But okay, so how many games does everyone have left?
I have 2 more.
You have 2 Foxes.
I have technically 2, and then 1 small one.
Okay, so you got 4. I've got 3. So you go first, Foxes. What's your next one?
So this is gonna be my small one. Escape from Tarkov, which is a game that I've frequently
almost got through an entire podcast without you talking about Tarkov. God damn it!
Right.
Even if it wasn't there, he would still bring it up somehow.
No.
Yes. He'd be like,
it was shown.
Why is it not going on Game Pass yet?
I do have to admit, the things look cool. Like the APC, the destructible part of the wall, which, to be honest with you, both are brand new mechanics, which are kind of like, oh, I wonder if these are actually new things that we can start extending, to your next installations of the maps, because basically they've been updating them, adding new whether it be bosses or places or whatever it may be. They're also transferring their engine from, I think, their 2017 Unity to, or whichever the previous version was, one is, to 2019, which is actually going to supposedly give them a lot of functionality, and actually what they're saying will hopefully fix a lot of their issues that they have with how that the game is actually rendered, because there's still latency issues, unfortunately, that still suffer with that game. And it's still like one of those things that kind of holds me back from, other than saying like this is one of the best first person shooters I've ever played. Like I still can't perfectly say that, because let's be honest with you, I prefer a good connection when I'm trying to kill my foe, like over than.
You don't necessarily need one. Hey, Moody, flashback last year when we played Apex Legends, when it fucking horrifically broke on us. And yikes. We won.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we actually won.
That's amazing, actually.
There's a video on youtube.com/wordsaboutgamesuk, and if you find it under streaming highlights, Apex Legends broke and it was amazing.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know if that was the one we won or not, or if that was the first time. Because it happened twice, and it was the second time where we actually won the game, because it was obviously happening to everybody, and it made the game such an entertaining game to play. Watching Moody try to like climb some stairs is literally one of my highlights of playing video games in my entire life. But yeah, no, like, all I know about Tarkov is when he used to stream at Fox's, so I don't know shit about this game.
It's kind of not changed very much, but also like still a little bit. It's kind of one of those things that they're still developing their vision, but at the same time, there's still some fundamental issues, i.e., server connection and so on and so forth. Yeah. But that still doesn't take away from all of its actual like unique and different type of a shooting game, because it's kind of one of those military simulation survival kind of looter shooter. To be honest with you, it's kind of really what it is. That's so hardcore that and is punishing that it's still one of those ones that you have to learn from. So can't take anything away from it. And I was glad to see it, but I do hope that this helps it. More
good.
so than anything.
That's good. I was like,
yeah.
I always like games getting better. That's always good.
Mm-hmm.
For my next one, someone's got to bring it up. Starfield, November.
Okay, I can knock that one off too.
2022. Xbox exclusive. We all saw the writing on the wall with that one.
Yep.
It's weird that I'm bringing it up because I'm like the one sitting here going, I never really vibe with Bethesda RPG, like Bethesda developed RPGs, but I'm bringing it up because maybe if it's in space, I might dig it a bit more. But like, I'm definitely going to try it. But also, I just wanted to bring up the Xbox exclusivity to just like say like it happened.
Told you so.
So like the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, like they started with a Bethesda game, they ended with a Bethesda game. They're both going to be exclusive. We're never going to see a Bethesda game on PlayStation again, are we?
Nope.
Did Deathloop?
Apart from the Deathloop and Ghostwire
Apart from the ones
Tokyo.
that are already paid exclusives.
But no, yeah, I think, yep. I think you're right.
Yep.
Cool.
I think it's funny that some sites have tried to think it could still come to PlayStation. Saying, no, it's not. Shut up. It's done. It's buried. They made it.
It's that actually happened.
Big, bold letters saying
Yep.
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
Like, yeah, they couldn't have been clearer.
Not small ones. Big, bold letters.
Like, they did the same thing with Redfall. It's like, they couldn't have been clearer with the direction they're taking Bethesda in. Like, these are going to be Xbox games from now on.
Absolute schmucks.
So if there are people out there who are trying to like grasp that like future Bethesda games are going to come to PlayStation, they're setting themselves up for a major disappointment. The internet is going to combust when they announce Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's coming to PlayStation now either. And you know what? Like, that sucks for PlayStation fans like who enjoy the Elder Scrolls games, but at the same time, like if you're an Xbox gamer or you're a Switch gamer or you're a PC gamer who hasn't had the chance to play like The Last of Us or Persona 5 or like whatever other PlayStation exclusives there are that exist, like tough shit. While we exist in this situation where there are exclusives on all the different platforms, like you can't cry because some games are now going to be exclusive to Xbox when at the same time, like the thing, because it's always the fucking capital G gamers, the fucking fanboys that piss me off all the time that will complain the loudest about this stuff. And what they always do is Xbox has got no games, PlayStation's got God of War and The Last of Us, and it's Spider-Man, and it's just like you can't then turn around and go, wow, we're not getting Starfield. It's just that's not how fucking life works.
No, Amy, that's not what we say around this here.
Put the phone away.
That's not how the Force works.
That's not how the Force works. Put the phone away. Walk away from the keyboard. Just log off social media for a while because you need the break, and so do I. Does anyone have anything to say about Starfield, the video game?
No.
I was okay. So I did come out and say that if Starfield announces that they're actually going to put it on a new engine, then I would actually have somewhat of an actual interest.
And they are.
To be honest with,
yeah.
And yeah, they actually came out to say that they are, and I was like, oh, hey, all right, let's see if this one is developed and actually like handled and Q&A tested and actually properly working game. I'm looking at you, 76. Sorry.
I own that game. It's to my deepest shame and regret. I actually paid £60 for that game when it came out.
So I bought it on release date for Megan and I because we were like, yeah, I actually have finally a Bethesda game, an RPG game we could play together and have fun. Let alone it didn't fucking run hardly.
Well, one of those things was true.
And then after that, a friend of mine bought it for me on PC because it was their most recent like update that actually like I guess fixed a lot of things. Still was not a very enjoyable time for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I still think it's one of the flattest Fallout games I've ever played. Like, it's just so boring, in my personal opinion. But whatever. That doesn't matter. I have a question. Didn't Morrowind and Oblivion originally come out on Xbox and
Yes.
PC and
Yes.
didn't come to PlayStation?
Yes.
Well, so they're back home then.
They're home. The Morrowind was an Xbox. Morrowind was like the first Bethesda RPG that came to an Xbox. Came to the original Xbox because that's where I played. That was where I played my first Bethesda. Oops! I just accidentally hit a button on my keyboard. I'm just making sure I haven't turned everything off. That was my first Bethesda game. And Morrowind, I really liked it. I really got into it. I really enjoyed it. Like, not so much with what followed, apart from New Vegas, which was developed by a different studio. But yeah, like, Morrowind was definitely an Xbox exclusive. Don't think Oblivion was. I think Oblivion came at 360 and PS3. But yeah, like, it's because I was watching the Bethesda documentary. NoClip did a little while ago, and like they even talked it up in that documentary about like how, like, Morrowind was an Xbox game.
So I'm keeping my, like, I don't even really have a hope. It's more my interest more so than anything whenever it comes to Starfield. Like, I'm keeping my interest quite tame, just because I'm like, okay, that was a cool CG thing, and like you're trying to explain, what kind of like boundaries and reaches that we're gonna have or not have. That's cool. Like, I appreciate it, and the fact that you're also giving us a date, like, specifically,
That was
also
weird.
before you even like before even anything else, and it just let alone CG trailer. Like, I was like, oh, you're putting the nail in it, huh? Okay. I mean, we know nothing about this game.
That's their fall game for 2022. That's what they're saying, and they're gonna go.
Yeah.
They're basically saying this is what we're gonna concentrate on next year for E3 as well.
Yeah.
And then showing us like teasers of what's coming in 2023, which is going to be a lot. This train is going to start getting faster and faster as we go, as we keep going now, because Xbox has 23 game development studios.
And people will still say they don't have any games.
I'll fight those people. You want to throw hands? I'll throw hands. Let's do it. It's exciting to be an Xbox, to be like an Xbox enthusiast. It's exciting right now because it's just getting better and better as time goes on. And like, I was there during the dark days when Xbox One launched, and it really didn't have any games. The games that it did have weren't great, and the ones that were coming up were few and far between and didn't look great. So it's just refreshing to sit here now and just spend an entire E3 podcast. And I know we've still got a few other games to talk about, but like half of the games that we've brought up are Xbox games.
Or going into Game Pass and everything.
Yeah.
That's how great it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Moody, you got 2 more left. Hit me with one. We've all got 2 more left now.
Planet of Lana.
Planet of Lana.
Refresh my
memory. I remember that title, actually.
Because the title sounds familiar, but I can't remember it.
I'll have to give us a moment.
You were hoping to get away with that, weren't
you?
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Yeah, as soon as I looked at the style, I remember.
Wishfully, Planet Lana. A young girl and her loyal friend embark on a rescue mission through a colorful world full of cold machines and unfamiliar creatures. Planet Lana is a cinematic puzzle adventures game framed by an epic sci-fi saga that stretches across centuries and galaxies. Basically, it's the next, the cute little thing from Kenna? There's like basically a cute little thing on that, and it's black as well. with a monkey tail, this one though. Art style looks absolutely stupendous. It looks amazing. This was shown at Xbox.
Funnily enough, that's where I've just landed on the Xbox. It's huge.
Looks so good.
I would agree. Yeah. I really dig its art style.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Yeah.
Something game you forgot.
It's not that I forgot. Again, you know how many game trailers we've all seen.
I know.
I remember the name. That's got to count for something.
That is
I,
something I guess.
I
Oh
forgot
yeah, I
one of the
remember
ones
this trailer now. I'm like watching the bit with the asteroids falling, and it's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember this trailer now. Yeah,
that,
gorgeous,
Absolutely beautiful looking
gorgeous.
game. Yeah, beautiful.
Uh, Foxes.
So actually, going back on the note of like not actually remembering, but as soon as I was told, what it was like, oh yeah, that's right, that game. I was hyped for it. Tunic, it's a fox. That's Zelda-like. I was like, wait, oh yeah, that's right, that game. Yes, please. I mean, yeah, like you've caught my attention. I dig it. Not only is it's minimalistic while like simple art style, it's also like kind of sword and shield like Zelda inspired gameplay while also you get to be a fox.
Give me a
That just
fox.
makes me happy as it is.
Zelda or Foxy Zelda. That's what I called it when we were talking about it before the show started. I'm excited for it. I played a demo for it a couple of months ago. We talked about it. I enjoyed it. There's a new demo up, but like I don't know. I don't want to play 2 demos.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
fair.
game's gonna be out soon, hopefully. So
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. That's the thing about it. I was very surprised that we didn't see a release date for this or anything, because we've been waiting for this game for like what, 4 years
long.
now.
Oh my god, I've been waiting
The
so
demo's
long
out,
for
there's
this
the
game.
second demo out, and I'm just like,
But the fact that it's back, right? Like it had a demo a couple months ago as part of the Steam Festival. It had a showing at E3. It's got another demo, like because it went silent. It didn't. It's not like we've been waiting and getting updates. It's like it went silent for a while. So the fact that it's back is really promising.
Yeah.
Which is good because I'm looking forward to it. Like it looks like a really cool game. The bit I played of it was intriguing and interesting enough. So.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward
Agreed.
to it.
Agreed.
My next game, it had its own showcase, had its own little stream. It's Back for Blood. Back for Blood.
Nice.
I'm trying to generate
wanna play
hype
this game.
for this game because I'm really excited to play this game. The thing they really
Me too.
focused on was the multiplayer, like the PvP multiplayer, which is something I'm probably not going to
So-
play that much of.
I actually didn't catch any of that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Is it even
So
somewhat interesting?
it's its own game mode. You played Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's Left 4 Dead.
It's that PvP.
So
okay,
how it works
okay.
is it's interesting in its concept. So like
Oh, yeah?
you get
Okay.
2 teams of 4. You pick your 4 hero characters, and then the others pick 4 zombies. Like it's not like you're randomly
Yeah.
spawning in as different zombies like you were in Left 4 Dead, and it's not the campaign. It's its own separate thing. It's like a survival mode. So the players have to survive for as long as possible, and then they set a time. So like let's say they survive for 3 minutes before they get killed. And then they set their time, and then you switch sides. So the zombie players become the player players, and the player players become the zombie players. And then the players have got to the other players have got to survive for longer than that to win the round.
Gotcha.
Which is interesting.
Is it through like a track, kind of like how Left 4 Dead was, or
No,
is it like
so this
it's
is
a
very
defense
much like
point?
there's an area. So it's the area of a level.
Yeah.
And this is just the PvP, the PvE, the 4-player co-op stuff. That is very much like you run
Yeah.
through levels and fighting zombies and stuff. But in the PvP, like you can set up in a place, but like it's battle royale ish in that like there's swarms of zombies that are closing in on the map.
Oh.
So
okay.
like you might like set yourself up in a house and defend it really well, but then like the house gets overrun and you got to move and you got to go somewhere else and set up there as well and try not to get picked off as you move in by the players who are playing the special. They're not special infected, but I
Zombies.
don't know what they're fucking called.
Yeah,
like this is Left 4 Dead 3. They're just not allowed to call it Left 4 Dead 3, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like I'm super, super, super excited to play this game. Original developers
Agreed.
of Left 4 Dead. Game's going in Game Pass, so it's not going to be difficult for me to like convince people to at least give it a try with me.
I'll be playing it with you. Don't you worry.
Hell, fucking yeah, you will. And yeah,
it's crossplay, right?
I think so.
I
I imagine it's play.
would kind of be
anywhere, so.
surprised if it. Yeah, I would kind of be surprised if it wouldn't, just because like other than the PvP aspect, which could be a little OP between console and PC, like that's not the focus for or the thing we're going to be focusing on.
Oh,
much,
God,
whereas
no.
the PvE,
like all the stuff about the PV is great. Like there's so many different
Yeah.
different zombies. There's so many different like the characters. There's like they have specializations, and then there's so much cool stuff where you get to like build your deck of cards with your different moves and abilities that you can
I
activate.
love that
And
mechanic so much.
like
so
it's just it's a really cool mesh of things in this game, which is for legal reasons not Left 4 Dead 3.
I like that. I do like that they called it Back for Blood. I like the title. It's kind of like it's definitely tongue in cheek for them, but at the same time, it's also like, yeah, we're gonna give you what you want finally. You know, because while I was a fan of
Left 4 Dead.
no Evolve,
Evolve.
it tanked so hard.
It really tanked. They even tried to bring it back and it tanked again.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So I've got one left. I'm pretty sure. Mooney, you've got one left. Foxes, you got two
One.
left? One left. All right, cool.
Yep.
Foxes, what's your last one?
So this one was kind of surprising, and to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to it. Even though that like sometimes when they do the off-branch ones, they get a little strange. But I love the character, and I kind of love the idea, and I loved the DLC that was a part of Borderlands 2.
No.
So to be honest with you, I am looking forward to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I want to see what it's like. To be honest with you, I absolutely loved the DLC part in Borderlands 2. Tiny Tina's
Something keep.
Assault on Castle Keep.
Yeah.
It's so good. And to be honest with you, it brings the feels. It really does right at the very end.
enough.
You know, the DLC part does. Just because like if you like, it's one of those ones you have to beat the main story before you so you can get the context of it. For whenever it comes to 2, but I'm looking forward to this because I feel like that they're just gonna go bonkers with it again, and I do like their ideas, and I like Tiny Tina. I think she's a great character.
Tiny Tina is one of the characters I did enjoy in Borderlands 2. Like I'm very hit and miss with the humor in Borderlands games, but like I like Tiny Tina. I remember Tiny Tina from Borderlands 2.
She's it's I would say that like it's pretty not worldly, but a pretty mostly self-renowned that like that her DLC is probably the best DLC for Borderlands 2. Most people are like, yeah, this is the best one that you could play because like it's just because they do a D&D aspect of it, and then they actually have like even like dice and like all that kind of like puzzles, and I love it. It was such a thoughtful type of addition.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do.
I'm interested in it, but they don't really tell you much about what really it is.
Yeah.
And I'm very mixed on Gearbox right now, so I didn't really go yay.
Yeah, like fair. I haven't really been into Borderlands like ever. If I'm being completely honest, like I played the first 2 with Russ, but like enjoyed them fine enough, but I was never massively into them. Never bothered with 3.
The third one wasn't good for me. I thought third one I think it took everything away from what made 1 and 2, especially 2, great. It sucked the life out of him and just made him very bland. It was a bland game. It was boring.
What I will say is that I like the concept of Wonderlands, so I'll keep an eye on it. Like, see what else they show for it. It's not coming out till next year, so there'll be plenty of time to see more. Probably like later on this year.
Just one more thing on that. It shows they peaked with Handsome Jack as they brought him back for the pre-sequel, and when they brought out new villains for 3, they were the worst villains ever.
I mean, I can figure that just from the trailers. Like, they looked terrible.
I haven't beaten 3 yet. I'm working through with it through some with some friends of mine, and to be honest with you, we just got to a point where honestly I think the world in and of itself is pretty boring, and I was like, dude, we have to get through this fucking shit.
Starts dragging.
It really does. Like the main villains don't really, honestly, like sure I guess they have some kind of character, but it really is just kind of like there isn't much to it. It's very one line, one note. There isn't much. I guess you would say evolution or anything with it, and you just kind of like push through the game just shooting shit just because it's a looter shooter.
All right, I'm stopping the Borderlands 3 review right there.
That's fair.
I'm gonna save yours for next game for last, Moody. and I'm just going to quickly go. My last game is Harold Halibut. I'd heard the name before, but I never actually knew anything about the game. It was another Tribeca Film Festival selection at that game spotlight, and it turned up in a couple of other places. The game looks cool, in terms of it's something I want to play. It's got a very interesting premise and a very interesting story, but watching how they made this game is incredibly fascinating. So the whole thing is based around stop motion animation, and what they've done is they've created this world and these characters and everything in it, and they've created the props. So the buildings, the characters, they've created stop motion models, and then they've 3D scanned them into the game. And then for the characters, they've done motion capture and applied that to the the characters in the game. It looks incredible. The result as you see the game and what it looks looks incredible, and it's just such a cool and different way to make a video game. It really stood out to me. The care and detail and attention that's gone into creating this game. So on top of me really kind of being interested in the important stuff, the gameplay, the story, the characters, right? The things that, sorry, when I say important stuff, I'm saying important to me. The things that hook me into a game, personally, just watching how they made this game is just fascinating. I could watch it all day. I could watch them make these models, and how much attention they pay to the smallest little details. And it was so cool and so fascinating. I'm really looking forward to playing the game and seeing how it all fits together.
The fact that it all starts from a handcrafted thing and then actually put into it, so that way they can actually work with it and do different things in it is a really interesting and neat design. And
yeah,
the
it's
fact that it's all started from them first.
Yeah, it's they showed the so they showed a building that just appears in the background of one of the levels that is in the. It's set on a spaceship that goes to a planet because and it's underwater basically. But there's a building in the background of one of the parts of the game, and and they're showing how they built it, and then they put it together, and then the level of detail that they put into things that players for the most part probably ain't gonna notice because it's very small levels of detail. But the fact that they've gone to that level of detail is awesome, and I'm that kind of player that I will notice that stuff, and I very much appreciate when developers do that. Because I am that kind of gamer. I fucking notice the stupidest, tiniest details and go, that's amazing. So I'm super excited for this game as well, as just being in awe of how the developers made it. And again, I just want to throw it out there because I really enjoyed the entire spotlight. Tribeca Games Festival has great taste in games. They selected 8 games, and between the 4 of us, we've talked about more than half of them. Some of them appeared at other showcases, but we've talked about, I think, 5 out of the 8 games that they selected. Awesome. Moody, bring us home for the final E3 2021 game reveal, experience extravaganza, amazing thing place.
Metal Slug Tactics. I absolutely love the look of this. Just because it's reinventing the wheel from what the Metal Slug used to be to now be a XCOM type of game. And I really like the look of that. I always like a game franchise to change it up. That's why I think Mario has been so successful. He hasn't just stuck in the one real house. He's literally branched out into many different categories of franchises, and he's done it being very successful. And to see this, I think just to take this old school style and update it to a new type of way to play it, I think is very, very intriguing, and really sells the game for me.
That's awesome. I actually didn't know about this game. This is actually pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm mildly disappointed that you didn't pick a dinosaur game to end on. Just for a meme.
Oh,
Just for a meme. No, I thought it would. I don't know. Like, you know, my brain and my sense of humor works differently to
Yeah.
humans.
Well, you should have texted me that, and then I might have done that. Really, you know my sense of humor. Do this for the last game.
This will be
I'll
funny.
make you
This
laugh.
will be funny. Make dinosaurs your last game. Because it was a few.
Make Jurassic Park the game. The Revolution 2.
I can't believe that's a thing that's happening. Jurassic World Evolution 2. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
Sold incredibly well. I saw a lot of people playing it.
Like, I can't believe they're making a sequel. That's awesome. I love the first one. It was great. But we've gotten through our list. I'm sure there are many, many other games that stuck out to us as being like, oh, that's pretty good. But, you know, there's only a finite amount of time that we can all sit down and talk about video games. So next Friday, the podcast will be back to normal. We'll be doing news. We'll be doing games out. We'll be doing Open Critic head-to-head. The whole cool shit. I'll probably even throw in a fantasy game critic update because we're never going to find the time to get together to do those videos separately. So I think I'm just going to start doing those podcasts. On Monday, we got a cool episode of Fashionably Late Reviews. I'll be reviewing Ratchet & Clank. I'll also be reviewing Chicory, A Colourful Tale, and then we'll be talking about some of the demos that we played from some of the E3 games that we saw at E3.
And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I have to put in. Mass Effect is coming, okay?
Mass Effect is coming.
I saw that you were playing it still the other day.
I've been busy. Amy's actually ahead of me, but I've been busy. Okay, I'm now free.
Yeah, you're gonna blast past me, but only because I'm gonna be editing the video that we're making. So, you know,
where are you two at currently?
I've just completed the main story of Mass Effect 2, but I have 2 pieces of DLC to finish on.
Whereas I did the DLC first, so I've got the end mission to do of Mass Effect 2, but I've already done the DLCs.
Okay.
They just popped up in my mission log. We're going to be doing a Mass Effect 1 retrospective, a Mass Effect 2 retrospective, and a Mass Effect 3 retrospective. So
can't wait to talk about the superior game now as Mass Effect 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, sure, you wish. Andromeda was about
really. Yikes.
Oh wow, this is gonna be spicy.
Yeah, and just want to remember, it was your idea.
Oh, I can't wait for this. I think
it's going to be a fun and mostly wholesome discussion.
We all know 2's the best.
Yes, we do.
I admit 2's the best.
2's the best. No, it's going to be a fun discussion, so I'm looking forward to it.
And then it's 3, and then it's 1, and then it's Andromeda.
They're going to be structured slightly differently from the Fashionably Late Reviews episodes in that, you know, they're actually going to be structured to start. So, and I'm actually going to put some thought into the editing process as opposed to just throwing B-roll up on the screen while we talk about video games. So, it's going to take some time to get these 3 videos done, especially considering I'm working on the Twitter poll winner for my next solo retrospective, which was Dishonored, and also playing new games. It's fun. It's fun being me. So happy I committed to everything all at once. Fucking Mass Effect. But until all of that, we hope you've enjoyed listening to us talk enthusiastically about all of the cool games that we saw at E3 that we wanted to talk excitedly about. And we'll be talking more excitedly about more games on Monday, so check that out. Till then, say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.